Figure Fight Club, we're repping the crew, battle on the floor. It's me and you, pose them up right. Let the showdown begin. In this action figure world, we're destined to win. Got my action force, they ready to strike. Transformers roll out, they're ready for the hype. Marvel and DC, heroes in the ring. With every epic clash, hear the crowd sing. Figure Fight Club, we're repping the crew. Step in the lounge where the figures come alive. Hot toy, Valorverse, rare finds, we revive. Transformers roll out, collectors on the rise. In this fight club of passion, watch the culture thrive. From the shelves to the streets, it's a collector's dream. Hunting down the grails, every piece supreme. Unboxing legends, every detail tight. Action figures flexing, shining in the light. Deals go down smooth, trades that never stop. From limited editions to customs that pop. The lounge got the plug, bringing heat to the game. Every figure's got a story, every name got fame. Step in the lounge where the figures come alive. Hot toys, Valorverse, rare finds, we revive. Transformers roll out.
Welcome to Figure Fight Club Lounge. This is a pre-recorded show, so we're not going to be, live and interacting with the chat and anything, unless we're like in the chat watching it too. But I'll be at New York Comic Con, so I don't think I'll be doing that, to be honest with you. But how are you guys doing? It's been a long time since I talked to you guys.
It's been a very long time. Yeah,
I know. It was like yesterday.
Merging into each other.
But today's show is going to be a little unique. It's a little different. We have our VIP, who is Kaan. He is from Belgium. He's a European collector, and this was I find this very fascinating because we always talk to other collectors in the US or other podcasters. So Kaan is another podcaster, but now he's based out of Europe. So let's go ahead and bring him out. Play any music. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Kaan. Kaan, welcome.
Hi everyone. I am a podcaster, it's true, but I don't podcast on toys, unfortunately. I have a
football, right? Or soccer?
Yeah, a soccer podcast, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome though. So you and I met through a Facebook group. I sold you some toys, and I shipped it out to Europe. But we started having this discussion back and forth about collecting and how it's different in Europe versus the US. And I was like, this always intrigues me, right? Because I've been to I've been to Germany, and I found it very difficult to find collectible shops in Germany, and it was very hard to do. So I just thought this would be a unique show where we the US market can kind of understand how it is for a European collector. So I guess before we jump into the whole differences and everything, how long have you been collecting for, Kaan?
As an adult, since around, I want to say 2010, when I got out of school, when I got out of college, and I started getting disposable income. It started going towards toys, and I think the first thing that really drew me in was around that time. Hot Toys were doing, I think, their second pass at Terminator, but they had the Arnold likeness for the first time, and they brought out what I thought, I saw pictures of it, what I thought was the most amazing looking action figure I have ever seen. I think there was the MMS 132 or something. Arnold Schwarzenegger in his, with where he wasn't beat up yet, essentially. Still, yeah, from the first half of the movie, and I just thought that looked so amazing. Back then, they were still relatively affordable. I think it was 160 euros or something, but it was a lot of money.
You said Hot Toys.
Hot Toys, yeah. That was back then in 2010. They were 160 euros or something,
right?
But now they're like double. And I quit Hot Toys a while ago. I sold all those. I kind of regret it, but I find them so they're amazing, but they're also very intimidating. I feel because like with the leather, like the flocking and all that kind of stuff that happens, and I feel like when you're putting 200, 300, 400 euros towards a toy, it should stand the test of time.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand that. I know Hot Toy. Like I've recently, I would say like last year, I started diving into Hot Toys, and they're all still in their boxes. I look at them and I put them back in the box and like put them up in the air so my kids can't touch them.
Yeah.
But I've heard about the wear and tear and it just happens naturally, and like people use. Like seat protectors for cars, like the wipes and stuff to put on the leather jackets just to extend the life of the coat.
Yeah, they're doing it version
my toys, but not that. The degrading stuff sounds very stressful.
Yeah, that's a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, they're doing a version 2 now, right? That's coming out right now. Now they're using actual leather for those clothes, and supposedly that should last longer. But I'm like, I don't know if I want to take that gamble,
No, I understand that for sure. Now, so you talked about Hot Toys is really what brought you into collecting. So what do you collect today?
You know what? Over the years, I have gone from collecting like the super high-end stuff. Well, super high-end. I mean, like Hot Toys and stuff. And like, I really like the Japanese imports. Mafex, SH Figure Arts. I collected Dragon Ball Z figures for a while. I collected a bunch of Star Wars. All that kind of stuff. I mean, we've talked about this off air, how it was, how collecting sometimes can be very cyclical and you can get into, different stuff. I've always been a huge wrestling fan, so that's always been a thing as well. Like, and around the time that I got into collecting, Mattel got the license for the WWE figures, so I got really into those. And nowadays, I kind of stick with the more simple stuff, like the Mattels, because I find those are catered, yes, towards collectors, but also towards children. So they're more durable. Whereas with like Figure Arts, Mafex, and don't get me wrong, I have a bunch of Mafex and stuff like that, but they're all like mint in box. I don't know, those figures can get really intimidating. And then if you go towards like the amazing Yamaguchi ones, there's like, whoa. I mean, that's great for people who are amazing at posing and taking figure photography and stuff like that. But for me, it's like, a little bit too far. It's too intimidating for me.
So, you and I had discussed previously as well that you, when I was selling you some of the wrestling figures, you had mentioned like you prefer the loose ones. That way it makes you not have an option to open or not open.
Yeah, but that's just me. That's just my crazy brain. I'm terrible at this. Like I'll buy like 3 figures in box with the idea of, oh, you know what? I'll take one out. I'll keep one for myself and then I'll sell one later when the value goes up or something. But I usually tend to end up with just 3 figures mint in box. And then I end up tracking down a loose figure that somebody else already went through the hard part and opening the box for me. So, but that's just my idiosyncrasies,
Okay, so let's talk about space.
You're not alone on that.
Yeah.
I know. That makes me feel a little bit better.
No. I do. So I often will do the same. You see that beautiful... Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead. No, you're already in the question. Come on.
Oh, it's just all right. You get that box and you're looking at it and you're like, it's almost painful to open that up because once you open it up, that's done. That experience is over. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what goes on in my head with it.
Yeah.
So I get you.
Definitely. And not just that. Also, just like as soon as I take it out and I start posing it around, like. Okay, maybe the joints will get a little looser, and I don't know. I just, it's just for me, it's easier to just buy a figure loose.
I get what you're saying
too. A better price too.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying though. Because like I do that with Mezco sometimes. Like I have a hard time throwing away a Mezco box. I've done it,
Yeah.
and it was like painful.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it was like literally, it felt like someone like poked me in the heart. Uh, so I get where you're coming from in that situation. But I do buy like loose Mezcos on purpose sometimes, just so I don't have a box, and it's also a lot cheaper. Like Talib had made that point. So it works out in that situation.
Yeah, with Mezco, you're already looking at like what $125 price point or something. So
Yeah,
like,
minimum at this, like, as of today's market. Yeah.
So you kind of want to keep that box even if you take it out, because you're like, you never know, maybe in 5 years time or in 10 years time I'm like, I'm not so into Mezco anymore, I'm more into this now, I'll get rid of my Mezcos. Or they do like a new, better improved version and you're like, oh, I'll sell the old one while the new one's still in pre-order. So
space has always been a challenge, like that's like our biggest villain to a collector. Space is always a problem. So how about you? Like, what's your space situation like? So you collect a lot of boxes, it seems like. So
you don't want to see my office right now. It's full of brown boxes full of toys, and it's like, my office right now looks like a UPS access point or something, where people are just bringing in all their stuff. Because we recently built a new house, and our interior isn't fully done yet, so I don't have like my my setup yet the way I want it. Like,
okay.
I should put it like we call it vitrines. The display cabinets is essentially, I don't have any of that yet, so right now I just have my desk is full of wrestling figures, and that's it. I don't have anything else out on display. Everything else is still packaged up. But we have a really big basement, and it's like poured concrete, so it should be watertight. But
European homes, man, I'm telling you.
we live somewhere where we're like below, just below sea level, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but like we had like a flood like last year, and our basement wasn't completely sealed off yet, because we just, like I said, we just moved in. Some of the access points for like the internet coming in, the electricity, all that kind of stuff wasn't closed off yet. So our basement started flooding, and it's a really, really big basement. It's essentially like, I think our house is 190 square meters. So I don't know what it is in foot, but like, other than my office and my kids' room, everything else, like the basement is underneath it. So we have a really big basement. So essentially, in theory, I have a lot of space, but in practice, I don't really want to put my stuff in there, because you never know with mold and humidity and stuff like that. It's like, it's too risky,
Yeah, no, I understand that. Now, let's just kind of jump into the whole European collecting market. So how does collecting in Europe differ from the US, from your experience?
Well, I think it's very important to understand that Europe is very diverse, and it's a lot of different countries and a lot of different things in a lot of differences in how it works. Even bigger than I think the differences between states. I believe you guys, in some states you have like sales tax, and others you don't, right?
Yeah, sales tax differs state by state, and some have zeros, and most of the states do have sales tax. There's like 3 or 4 that don't.
Yeah. So if I order something from, let's say, Germany or Italy or Spain or whatever, like, no problem. It's just free trade between those countries. The problem is that with a lot of the stuff that I like, you can't get that easily here in mainland Europe, I feel like. Especially in Belgium. Belgium's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Like, our retail toy stores, they only carry like kids' toys essentially, and like, they'll carry like a bunch of Star Wars, but it's like the 5 points of articulation figures. I think they'll have like the smaller Black Series, maybe a couple of 6 inches, maybe a couple of Marvel Legends, but like, it's very, very limited. So you really have to look towards online stores. So when I see you, like, guys like, channels like yours or other channels like do these figure hunting or toy hunting vlogs, I'm so envious, because it's like, I can't do that. If I want to do that, I have to drive a couple of 100 kilometers to go to France or something, and to go to maybe like a Smith's toy store or something like that, and maybe there I can find a little bit what's more my jam. Like, Belgium is terrible when it comes to that kind of stuff. The retail is really Baron. There's a couple of specialized stores, like online stores, and they have like a physical presence or something, like all the way over in the Walloons, which is the southern part of Belgium where they speak French. I'm a native Dutch speaker, not a French speaker, and yeah, it's really tough. There's lots of online sellers, people who started their own stores, but they'll sell like Star Wars, and they'll sell maybe some Masters of the Universe if you're lucky, like the popular stuff. But like wrestling, for example, which I'm really into, very hard to find in Belgium. And even Transformers can be tough. There's a specialized store in the Netherlands that does them. But like Masterpiece was, when I got into Masterpiece back in the day, was really, really tough. I had to just order it from Japan essentially.
Okay. Now, so like what is one of the biggest challenges in the collector market there? Like, do you like? I know you have GameStops and stuff like that, right? That's somewhat. You don't have GameStops in Belgium?
No.
I've seen GameStops in Germany, but they didn't have collectibles. It was mostly like games.
We don't have GameStop. We used to have something called Game Mania, but they went bankrupt. So
GameStop is right there behind it. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, I maybe I'm wrong, and there is GameStop in Belgium, but to my knowledge, there isn't. And it's kind of like Blockbuster back in the day, right? Like the mom and pop video stores. Like I think they're all going extinct because everything is moving towards digital. Everyone's buying digital games nowadays. Like so, even if you buy a physical copy of a game, you get a digital download nowadays. So, like
that's true.
Yeah, so it's
so you're saying if you didn't have online retailers, your collection would be micro.
Oh yeah,
what it is now.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. And I would say distribution is the biggest issue, because I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was going to ask you guys what for you is like the biggest frustration when it comes to collecting. You know, I just wanted to hear your take on that, because for me, it's definitely distribution.
Currently, right now, is kind of distribution, because like me and Lou are G.I. Joe classified collectors and just Hasbro stuff in general. Like the theory is they're just trying to pump their third and fourth quarter numbers, and we are just getting a butt ton of products in right now. It's almost I've had to cancel things just because there's just too much coming. I'll just cancel it and wait to get it later. Like if it's not an exclusive, I'll wait.
Yeah, I get that. That's
like
the problem.
Now, Target's doing a deal where you get $20 off if you spend $80. I'm like, oh well, there's a few things I could probably get right now. Get that.
but that's almost like the opposite of what my issue is, because like your issue is you have too much choice. Like you have a wealth of options, and for me, it's like, where am I going to get this figure at a decent price? You know, because I have to I have a guy who I buy a lot from on Facebook. His name is Daniel Lopez, really nice guy. That maybe if some of you guys are in the WWE groups, you might know him. And he sells stuff, and he's like, the other day he said, you know what, I'll sell you this at cost. And I'm like, no, dude, I want you to be able to make money on it as well. So I don't mind paying like $35, $45 for a figure that you guys buy at retail for $25. I don't mind that, because that is still cheaper than if I were to get it from like a reseller here. Resellers here will find for that same figure they'll ask like 55, 60 euros or something. So
which converts to like almost $75.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's what the thing was, especially in the beginning. Now it's easier to find figures, I'd say. But like when I started, like 10 years or plus ago with the Mattels, with the WWE figures, I was paying $75 for a $20 figure all the time, because I had to go through eBay. That was my only option. And eBay, you might get the figure for $25, then you have to pay shipping, you have to pay imports, and that's the big one. The imports is like, I bought ones from Big Bad Toy Store, and I bought a Takara MP10 Optimus Prime for $299. $65 shipping, so you're at $364, and then it came, and I had to pay 120 euros import on that. So that's another $150 on top of that. So the same figure that you guys could have bought from Big Bad Toy Store, I think with free shipping for $300.
$4 shipping.
Yeah, okay, $4 shipping, but like
pretty much free though.
It cost me $500 essentially. And And the nasty thing is you don't know it up front. Like sometimes your packages will get through and they won't check them, and you're lucky. But yeah.
Well, we're starting to experience that now in the States because of the whole de minimis and tariff fees.
Yeah.
Things from Japan, you're paying $30 to $40 for the shipper to drop it off at your door.
And they're charging you right at the door when they drop it off too. Or sometimes they send you a bill too. I've seen that too, where people are getting bills now from UPS and things like that.
Oh yeah. Actually, the guy I was talking about earlier, he shipped me 2 Stone Colds, the new Ultimate, like a month or 2 ago. He shipped them to me, and they didn't deliver them. They said they tried to deliver, but I refused. But no guy from UPS ever showed up on my door. Never got a note in the mailbox or anything like that. No notification by email, nothing. And they ended up shipping it back, and he had to pay that. Like they tried to charge him to pay it. And the worst part, I got asked to pay import for it before it arrived at my home. I paid the import and they still sent it back. I'm like, what the hell? And then they tried to charge him like $75 or something for having to ship it back. And I was on the phone with them for like 3 hours when the package was still in the country to get my package, like 3 hours spread over like 4 different phone calls. And they still ended up sending it back. So that's the pain of having to order from far away. But yeah.
But you're kind of stuck with that too, though, because like you were talking about, like it's hard to find figures in Europe.
Insane.
So I guess let me ask you this question: Do you buy from Japan and like Asia countries as well, like Asian countries?
Yeah, I've been ordering for 10 plus years from a website called mycombini.com, I think. And I have a really good thing worked out with them because I the first time I bought from them on eBay, and then they said, oh, we have a website, go check that out. And that's where I ordered like all my Masterpiece, all my Mafex, all my figure art, stuff like that. And they have like a standing thing where they will ship it to me at Inside Baseball here, and this is not perfectly legal, but they'll ship it to me like as a gift, and they'll mark down the value and stuff, so I don't get absolutely gutted by the tax man. Maybe I hope they don't watch this, but yeah. So the
European Union watches this show.
Yeah. So they work with you. So I mean, that's something you guys could also try, because I guess if they report the value lower, then the tariffs will be lower, I imagine. So there's ways around it. And I don't mind paying taxes, but the big problem is like when I get a package, let's say I bought a figure for $25, I pay $20 shipping, $45. It's called for to get it here. And then what they'll do is they'll say, oh yeah, but you have to pay 19.5 euros just for us to check it. Like customs formalities is what that's called. So that's just flat rate, 19.5 euros. And then on top of that, you have to pay 21% tax. So the tax is minimal. It's like, 7 euros for the value of the figure and the shipping, because they tax both. Yeah. But then you have the 20 euros on top of that. So you're essentially paying for like something that costs you 45 euros. You're then paying almost 80 just because they, all the extra costs that come in. And once you go over a certain amount, over 150 euros, that 19.5 becomes 40 euros. So that's just flat rate, 40 euros, bam. And then on top of that, you have to pay the 21%. So on 150, you'd have to pay 21 plus 10.5. So 31.50 plus 40. So 71.50 on something that costs you 150 euros, for example. So you're paying, well over 200 euros, or $250 just for something that's. So if I were, let's say I would buy from like a dude like the new Cody with Brandy, and he's selling it to me for $150, like that probably cost me like 250 euros to get it here. If he didn't mark it down.
So, but is there any like? I mean, not even European, like just all of Europe. I'm sure that, like you said, Smith's, right? That's like a Walmart almost. I've heard that's like very similar to a Walmart.
Yeah.
And is that all over Europe, or is it just
Nope.
in one area of Europe?
No, that's the frustrating bit for me because I'm absolutely shafted when it comes to that kind of stuff because I live in Belgium. So in France and in the UK and in Ireland and in I think Germany and Austria, they have their own Smiths, but they don't ship abroad. They only ship domestically. And they have, like, for example, like I'm really big into the Attitude Era and WCW and like the 2000, like 1990s to early 2000s stuff. So like the modern figures, if I order in Smiths, I have to order from Smiths at the Netherlands, which is our neighboring country. But France and Germany are also my neighboring countries. Like they're same distance, you know. But only the Netherlands ships to Belgium. But for some reason, for example, I'll give you an example of this last wave of the Monday Night Wars figures. They only have the Undertaker. They don't have the other three figures. And it was the same for the Golga wave. They only had the Kane figure. They didn't have the other three figures. They'll have like a bunch of mainline figures, but I'm not really interested in those. And they'll have like basics and stuff, and they'll have like a couple of mainline ultimates, but they won't have like. Sometimes they'll have the Monday Night War. They had the Monday Night Wars Triple H, but then they didn't have the Stone Cold. And like the French branch and the German branch and the UK branch and the Irish branch, they all have those. They have like all the Monday Night Wars figures, but the one in the Netherlands doesn't. So this is very specific to me and for people in the Netherlands, for Belgium and the Netherlands. Like for us, it's really difficult because we can't actually get those figures at retail. In our countries, but in Germany, in France, in Austria, Ireland, the UK, you can.
So I have a hard-hitting question about Smiths. Since it's the equivalent to Walmart in Europe, do you have people that go in there that are wearing spandex that probably shouldn't be wearing spandex and have more teeth missing than normal?
I thought you were gonna ask if they sell automatic guns or something. No, I don't know. I've actually never been to a Smith's physical store. I don't think we don't have one in Belgium. I think I've never actually been, so I wouldn't be able to answer that question, unfortunately.
All right,
or maybe fortunately, actually.
Yeah, probably.
But so what they do. They are not really. I don't think they're the same as Walmart, but what they do, they have the exclusives that Walmart has. So like the Monday Night Wars figures are exclusive to Walmart in the US, so they are exclusive to Smiths in Europe. But for example, like the Target figures, like the Legends and the Target Ultimates, we can't. To my knowledge, you can't get them in Europe. Like you have to import them from the States. Yeah. So
I was going to answer Talib's question about the dress code in Europe is a little different than the US. Just yeah. You don't really see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid in the 80s, there was no shoes, no shirt, no service. Yeah. They need to add a couple more stipulations.
Oh, you see stuff here all the time as well. Believe me.
We've got to.
We've declined in that situation. I agree.
I mean, I love spandex on women, but sometimes no, I don't.
No.
Yeah, Robin Hood. What's it, Prince in Tights or something?
Yeah.
What's that called?
Men in Tights.
Yeah,
Men in Tights.
Now, what's general collecting community? General collecting community in Europe. Does it differ, or is it like? Do you have any like friends who are local who collect and you meet with them, or is it like? Do you talk to anyone in different countries?
I can only speak for myself, obviously. There's one guy I actually met through Facebook. I think I met him on Vinted, and he's from Belgium as well. He's like 10 years younger than me. He also was collecting. I actually bought like the majority of his Ultimates because he was getting out of the collecting. Because I think but he's like young, early 20s. I think looking at buying a house or something with his girlfriend. 2 kids on the waist. You know how life can get. So sometimes you need to just get out of it. I met him, but like in general, I like from all my friends, like none of them collect toys. Like they collect other stuff. Like one of my friends, he collects like Game Boys and Nintendos and PlayStations and that kind of stuff, but not toys. And then most people, I think, will kind of look at you like the 40-year-old virgin, like, what is this? I think
My cousins gave me that look when I asked them about going to a toy store. They're like,
Yeah.
for your kids? And I was like,
In Germany.
"Oh." Yeah, in Germany. Yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
you want to go for your kids? Like we can find them like much closer. I was like, no, I need to look for like a specific comic style, like
Yeah.
comic books and action figures, collectibles. They're like, is it for you? And I was like, yeah, for me. And they're like, why?
Yeah, I think it's a lot less socially acceptable in Europe than it is in the States. Because I think that's changing though. You're getting more and more conventions popping up. Like there's a big convention in Brussels coming up soon, I think, and there's a massive convention in Ghent called Facts that's been going for years. So it's definitely improving for our kind, but it's not yet where I think it is in the States. Where in the States it's just pop culture, right? Like it's I mean, geeks are getting like is a new cool.
Yeah,
it's the new cool. That's how it is. Yeah, it's switched.
I've noticed more and more conventions in London. So I mean, it's hitting that side of the Europe, and maybe it's pushing west or east.
Yeah, I think the UK is a lot more closely aligned to the States. I think also the collecting scene in the UK is probably like I've been to London. Like there's a massive collectible store there. I don't remember what it's called, but it was really, really cool, and it was almost like what I imagine. Like I don't know if Big Bad Toy Store have a physical store, but I imagine that's what their store would be like. So I think in the UK there's definitely they're further ahead.
So that was actually one of my questions. Is there any large European conventions that happen in that side?
Oh yeah. There's definitely convention, but nothing like the American conventions though. Like you guys, you do what's that saying for Americans? Like everything's bigger and better. And I think when it comes to that kind of stuff, that's really really true.
Yeah, Texas, yeah.
like I was mentioning, like so there's MCU London that's happening next weekend. It's a lot of stuff.
London. Okay.
TF Nation's really big. Have you ever tried to, since you're a Transformers fan, ever tried to make it that way to TF Nation?
No, but I'm gonna give you full disclosure. I actually have a visual issue. Like I'm visually impaired, so for me, those conventions are like just a massive stress because I'm like, I'll bump into 1,000 people.
I mean, so being visually impaired or not, it doesn't matter. You'll still bump into people. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, but like it's I would not be able to enjoy it properly.
Okay.
I would totally go if I could, though. Don't get me wrong. But like that's just me, of course, personally. But like, there's definitely conventions, and like I said, there are more and more popping up. Like the one in Brussels is relatively new. I think Fact's been going for a lot of years. Like you mentioned, like in the UK, you've got lots and lots of stuff. But the UK, they're so much ahead in a lot of stuff. Like for example, like these they have wrestling conventions there where you like with meet and greets, like with Bret Hart and famous WWF and WCW wrestlers. Mainland Europe, I think in Germany you probably have those as well, but like in Belgium, we had a show in Brussels. Raw was in Brussels actually a couple months ago, and I think that's the first time ever Raw was in Brussels. So in Belgium,
I'm ready to say it seems like the new regime is trying to push more into the UE.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they WWE had made. I watched this
the international.
Yeah, I watched this. My CEO went to this event where Triple H and Nick Kaan were talking. They had this open forum. They were talking, and he sat up right up front and he FaceTimed me, so I could hear the conversation, hear what they were talking about. And he said, Nick Kaan and Triple H both said that they want to be known as a worldwide company, and that this was last year. So in 2024 is when I watched this, and in 2025 you start seeing them doing pay-per-views and PLEs at these now in Europe and different countries more often. So it's interesting, and they're going that direction, which is good because again they're trying to raise that bar to be known as a worldwide company.
But they've also upped the ticket prices insanely, right? So like they're really pricing out families essentially. Yeah, I mean, I checked the tickets for Raw, and I was like, oh, this would be something cool to do with my son and my girlfriend. And we've been together for 13 years, but we're not married. I thought this would be something cool, but like I think the cheapest ticket was like 250 euros, and it's like 750 euros for like a night out. That's like,
it's insane.
Yeah.
I remember getting cheap
That's
tickets
nuts.
to Raw or SmackDown, like $20 or $30 in the nosebleeds, and I could take my kids no problem. Now it's double or triple that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's
Even for the nosebleed, $100 for a nosebleed ticket. It's unbelievable. Yep.
I mean, ringside is like $2,000 now. Like, it's insane.
I was hearing that second row at WrestleMania next year is going to be $40,000.
Yep.
It's like, who are their fans who can afford that?
I mean, only like athletes and actors and famous people, right? Like, I mean, like people are making like a couple of $1 million a year. Otherwise, like, you need to be crazy to pay that kind of money. One WrestleMania,
pay that?
Payment. It's a down payment for a house.
And I would love to go to a WrestleMania just to experience it.
Right.
But at the same time, the product's so good on TV. I would almost want to go to the city where WrestleMania is at and do all the stuff around.
Yeah.
Like a sports bar and watch it on TV, or go back to my hotel and have like a room or something.
Yeah, you're better off going to like the convention they do, like the Fanatic stuff, and then just go to like the independent shows. Instead.
Because you'll meet a lot of the older wrestlers who used to be around. A lot of cinemas are now picking up the PLEs as well, where you could just buy a ticket and go watch the PLE at a theater.
Okay, that's pretty cool, I guess, because you're there with a lot of like-minded people, and just feel that feeling of being in a crowd, essentially.
Yeah, it was interesting.
What was it, Rocky Horror Picture Show, where we're all throwing shit?
Right.
But I mean, that's what they did with one of the WrestleManias, right? Like WrestleMania 3 or 2, or that was like in 2 different cities, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, they did,
or 6 maybe.
Yeah,
the one with the Trump at the Trump Plaza.
It was.
Yeah.
And they were doing simultaneous. It was,
simulcast, I think you called it.
WrestleMania 3, I think. I think you're right.
Was it 3?
It was either 2 or 3.
I thought 3 was at the Superdome or whatever.
That's the one with Andre and Hogan. That's WrestleMania 3. So I guess it's like 2 or something. But I don't remember. But what was the question?
And it had to be 2.
Well, we were talking about conventions, and you've never been to a convention, then I'm assuming.
I have been to a convention. Okay. I have been, but like for me, it was like a one and done, because it's like there's so many people there. You have to walk over heads, and it's like, for me, it's just a massive source of stress, because like I could if I wasn't visually impaired, I'd totally do it. I'll be totally into it. I dress up.
So you cosplay?
I would. I'd try to slim down a little bit so I could fit into like a Boba Fett outfit or something. Otherwise, I'd have to be like a fat stormtrooper or something. But it's definitely something. Like when I was a kid, I loved to dress up, but I'm a bit too chunky for that, unfortunately.
But so I guess how was your experience at the event, the con that you went to? So were there a lot of cosplayers? Were there a lot of tables, like vendors set up?
Okay. Yeah. There definitely was. There's like lots of people in cosplay and stuff. But that's definitely something that I think you have that everywhere. But like when I sometimes watch like videos from like San Diego Comic-Con and stuff, like a guy dressed up as RoboCop just walking around, it's like, wow. Like it doesn't get that crazy yet, I think. But there's definitely people in some amazing gear. And actually, somebody I used to game with back in the day, she's really big into cosplay, and she did a lot of those conventions. So I did get to see like firsthand those pictures and stuff all the time. So there's definitely a big scene for that, but it pales in comparison with the States.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can imagine. I mean, I feel like the trend is changing, right? Like what about like you said you made a comment about American pop culture. Now, does Europe have its own pop culture? Is that a trend that's starting to pick up?
I definitely think that Western Europe is very Americanized when it comes to pop culture. Like, I grew up watching all the American sitcoms and stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's how I learned how to speak English.
Okay. Self-taught?
100%, because we used, like, in Belgium, now it's a little different, but like the cartoons I grew up on, like Transformers and Beast Wars, and what else did you have back in the day? G.I. Joe and Power Rangers, like all of that stuff was just dubbed, not dubbed, sorry, they were subtitled. And the difference is in Germany and in France, they dub everything, but in Belgium, they subtitled everything. So we automatically, as kids, learned English. So I think most Belgians that aren't the French part of the country, because they also got everything dubbed, but like the Flemish part of the country, like most of us have like very decent basic English. But yeah, I think it's different. Like you'll know this, Abby, because you have family in Germany. But like in Germany, the English is a lot worse because they dub everything. I think, and that's a massive part of it. But they still watch all the same stuff, though. They still watch all the American sitcoms, the cartoons, also of course the Japanese stuff, like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, are massive in Europe as well. Naruto, all that kind of stuff. I think the pop culture is very comparable. The only big difference is maybe like the music. You have like the Euro dance scene from the 90s and the 2000s. I think that bled over a little bit into the US, but I think there's just still a difference there. But I think in terms when it comes to TV consumption, it's very similar.
Okay. No, I mean, you made that comment about Germany. Not everyone in Germany. I did notice that, like my cousins, right, are very different because they went to British schools, so they spoke English. And most of I would say, actually, no, all of my cousins speak English completely. And their kids, not so much. They've been more like I can still communicate with them because I speak Hindi as well, and so do they. So we, I just switch over to Hindi. But most of my cousins speak to me in English, which is great. I don't speak German as much anymore. So
yeah, ich verstehe dich.
Now, just kind of going back to the collecting part. Now, do you think there's a trend on like? This might be an opinionated question as well, but is it more current market or more vintage? You think that's popular in Europe?
That's a really good question. I think it's probably. I want to say a little bit more vintage, maybe, because like for example, when it comes to like Masters of the Universe, I think there's a lot of vintage collectors, but I don't think there were a lot of people who collected the classics. And maybe now, maybe with the Mattel reviving it and doing like the Revelations and all that kind of stuff, which is very easily available here. Maybe that's changed, but like I remember with Classics, because Classics was like a subscription, right? And with what was that? Mattel?
Was it Super 7?
No, it was a predecessor of Mattel Creations before Super 7 got the line. They had like a subscription for the Masters of the Universe Classics.
Matty Collector? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Matty Collector. So you could get a subscription there, but then you were dealing with the import and all that kind of stuff. So like I figured that, I don't know what they were going for, $25. You ended up paying $75 or something like that. But I don't think a lot of people got into the classics line, and I think there's a lot of vintage collectors for sure, because I recently actually sold off all my vintage Masters figures, and they were gone in seconds. Like I put them up on Vinted, and I did do for like reasonable prices. I didn't have like anything mint on card or anything crazy like that. I just had like some good condition Pantor, Skeletor, He-Man, then a couple of not so great conditions, and I priced them reasonably, and they were gone in I couldn't believe it. Like my girlfriend said, you priced them too cheap. I'm like, I have one left.
I was going to say that was going to be my guess, that you have more vintage there than modern, because vintage is already there, where modern you still have to import in.
Yeah.
So
and I think it's mainly because I think in the US the toys, the retail toy stores are still going a lot stronger than. I mean, I know you lost Toys R Us, and that was a big deal. But you still have Walmart, who have a very big selection. You have Target, who have a big selection. You have GameStop, I guess. You have like all these retail stores that still offer it. Whereas in Belgium in particular, like I said, we have toy stores, but they sell Lego, They sell very basic Star Wars and all that kind of stuff. Barbie and that kind of stuff they sell, but like Marvel Legends, even Marvel Legends, which you think would be like super super popular, like hard to find. The 6-inch Marvel Legends, and I don't think I've ever seen a Marvel Legends at retail. I could be actually I did the movie figures. I've seen those, but like like the Spider-Man on the retro cards. Never seen that at retail ever. And yeah, so I think that's probably as well why it's harder here. But also, I just noticed with Mattel and with Hasbro, like I don't understand how massive international companies like that can just set up like a Central European hub, like Mattel Creations. They have like a just put like a storage somewhere, like a Amazon facility essentially, but then like a distribution center, like for example in Germany or something, and just sell everything online and ship it. Like I don't understand why they don't do that.
It's probably because of money, honestly, because these companies probably look at where they're making the most amount of money, and it's probably not coming out of Europe, so they already know that US is probably the biggest source of collecting.
Yeah, but if you don't sell in Europe, if you don't sell the product in Europe, how can you gauge whether you would be able to sell it in Europe? Like I said, like
have a European site and then they shut it down.
A UK site, and after Brexit, that's you're only getting UK sales essentially. Like, because like I don't even think I could order on there. Okay. And now, for example, a good example is WWE Shop. Like they have they have a Euro Shop, but the Euro Shop is based in the UK. So for me, I'm better off ordering from WWE Shop than I am from the Euro Shop, because I pay import anyway, and the selection in the US store is much bigger. So why would I order from the UK store? And UK you're paying in pounds, so you're paying more anyway. Like
I was gonna say, the pounds versus US dollar is probably a very large difference too. So
yeah, exactly. So like I don't know. I think Hasbro and Mattel, like, they don't even offer products to all the European retailers, and I'm sure there would be like specialized retailers who would be interested in it, but they just don't. I don't think they offer it. Like I said, like the Target exclusives just not available in Europe. Yeah, so I don't know. Distribution is very frustrating.
Now, how do you feel about repackaged or re-released figures?
Reissues, you mean? Yeah,
reissues. Yeah,
I think it's great for new collectors, people who get into the lines later on. Obviously, for the secondary market, it hurts, because if you buy something with the eye of maybe reselling it later on, then that hurts your value, obviously. But I personally think it's great because it gives new collectors a chance. For example, let's say you want to get into Transformers, but you missed out on the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. Like, who's gonna start a Transformers collection without Optimus Prime or Megatron, right? Like, so I think it's great for those people. I had it myself when I was doing Masterpiece. I bought, like I said, the MP10, I think at $300 on Big Bad Toy Store, but I think the retail price originally was like $150 or something. So I paid already double. So I would have loved to have it at half price, And they did reissues. They did reissues later, but obviously you have FOMO, you have, all that. You want it now. You don't want to wait because you don't know when they're going to reissue something. So, but
so the general collecting brain, right? Like, I want it now and regret it later, essentially.
Of course, yeah.
It always frustrated me when people would get mad over reissues. You don't. If you're buying toys as an investment, you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the whole reason of reissues is it's getting new people into the line that might have missed out. That's benefiting you, because if there's more people buying in, then the company's going to put more money into developing other products.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely agree with that. I understand it to an extent.
Yep.
I think if you're buying like us, like 3 figures in box, but like I still think like toys aren't a great investment, but they're not a bad investment either. I think for the most part they keep their value. Especially if you keep it.
It really depends on what you.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like for example, I've been selling off all my McFarlane DC figures because I'm like, I saw what happened when Mattel lost the license.
Yeah.
You see that value go down. Like a figure that was worth maybe 100, like the Bane. I think they had like a Build-A-Figure Bane that was like worth a lot of money, and all of a sudden you see that like just go way down. I definitely think that in that regard, like, you know, with AEW, for example, there's rumors that Jazzwares are not going to be continuing that line in the future. So
I think it's already been cut. I think they've already separated.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but like, let's say somebody else picks up the line.
They've separated.
Oh, they have. Okay, well, but then you know you're gonna have new people putting out those figures, and it's like with the classic superstar that Jack's made. Like, there's a couple out there that are like super rare, that are super valuable. Like for the most part, I'm seeing like on Vinted. I don't know if you guys have Vinted in the US, but it's like
I've never heard of it.
You guys have like a website, Calimero, I want to say, but that's not it. Where you can sell stuff like I don't know what it's called.
Macari,
that's what it's called. So Vinted, I think, is similar to that. It was like only like for secondhand clothes and stuff, but like you can find a ton of toys on there. I actually buy a lot of wrestling figures on there because the people from France and Germany and all over Europe, you know, who do have access to those Walmart exclusives from their local Smiths, they sell it on there. They resell it on there for like €10 more or something. So I buy a lot of stuff there. But where I was going with this? Sorry, I'm rambling all a little bit, but I'm trying to find where I was going. But
it's all right.
Someone help me.
I think it was about resale value.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So
resale value.
I saw a guy trying to sell his classic superstars on there, and he was like selling them for like €30, and he had to price it down to like 25 and 20, and like people aren't buying them, you know. And I think that is definitely how toys can lose value. But then again, how much were they at retail back in the day? The classic superstars. Were they like $15-20?
Probably, yeah.
And I mean, you could probably
within that range.
Obviously, there's inflation, and you have to take that into account as well. $20 now isn't what it was 15 years ago. But still, I think for the most part, if you keep stuff in the box, it's going to keep its relative value, and probably most of it will increase unless a line gets discontinued or something.
I was gonna say, unless it's an AEW figure, because those figures are like $3 now.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. And you know what? I mean, I never bought those, but I always thought
the desirability.
Yeah.
Well, as a Transformer collector, we do well in resale value for Transformers.
That's true. I mean, you say that. I have a couple of Masterpiece left, and like I have like my Soundwave, which Soundwave is like my favorite. And I'm looking, and I'm like seeing it on like resale sites, like €100, €113. I'm like, what? I paid like 150 for this guy, and I think that's because of the knockoffs. Because they, you know, there's the knockoffs are so good nowadays. Like you can almost not tell the difference anymore.
Masterpiece is a little bit different story, but mainline stuff for sure typically holds its value or
I did notice that, like for example, some of those Studio Series 86, like the Grimlock and stuff, they're going for crazy numbers.
Yeah,
like they're going for as much as a Masterpiece.
Yeah, it was going almost $200 at one point here.
Did they reissue it recently? Because I mean, I'm still seeing it at those prices.
It was repacked with that Megatron, so it was in the same way.
It did.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. God damn, you're going to cost me more money.
Same case.
You already made him spend €200 the other day.
I mean, I had to order 3, right?
Just highly.
I had to.
Well, you gotta have one in alt mode, one in robot mode, one in package, right?
Well, you know, I mean, I'm not so much on the alt modes. Honestly, I just like them to have them in robot mode. But I saw Megatron. I'm like, I think I got 3 or 4 Bumblebees. I got 3 Optimuses. I just got 3 Megatrons. And like the other ones that are like not so much like, I have 1 Starscream. I have 1 Ironhide. I have one of most, but then like a couple of them, I'll be like, yeah, I gotta get 3 of those.
Yeah. What was it? I have like the MP Ironhide, and I'm like, I'm good with that Ironhide. And then Fan Toys release images of their Ironhide. I'm like, shit.
Oh man, third party, don't get me started.
I'm looking at DX9's Prow right now, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm replacing my Takara.
But the thing, but I don't know how it is in the US, but the third party is really treacherous, man, because that can go up a lot in value, and then Takara come out with their version, and all of a sudden it's worth pennies on the dollar. I had that with the Apollyon. That went down.
Apollyon was a chunk and had breakage issues if you were with it.
It was great for the time, though. If you compare that to the original Masterpiece, like it was so much better, and it was really good. But then, obviously,
well, Takara knocked it out of the park with MP36 because just the tune accuracy. It was a pain in the ass to transform, but it looked great.
Yeah, but how often are you gonna transform?
It did.
Right. That's usually me with
legs
my
were a little skinny.
Transform once, pose, put on shelf, dust every few weeks or months or however.
I bought, like, again with the Masterpiece, I did it as well. Like I kept a couple in box and then I bought some loose, and I had a Hasbro MP10 that I had come over loose from the States, and the smokestack broke off, so I had to buy third-party smokestacks to replace them, and oh my god, replacing them was a nightmare. And I bought a Starscream MP11 as well, and he didn't have his coronation set, but I was like, I don't care, But then I had my kids played with it a little bit, and he broke off the nose cone, so I had to super glue that. Now I'm trying to sell it because I got out of Masterpiece. But obviously I'm gonna mention it, like the nose cone's been glued. It doesn't impact the transformation or anything, but like that's like something's broken. That's immediately like much value goes down. And it wasn't even like his fault, honestly, because it was just brittle.
That's just how Masterpiece are. You got to be
sure. Yep.
Yeah. And
that nose cone.
But that's not just Masterpiece though. It's like
the MP11 Starscream mold is just rough.
It's janky. It feels like if this would just click together, it would be great. But like the torso flips up all the time, and like
it had a great jet mode though.
It did, yeah. Did they do a new version of that? Because
it looked amazing. Yeah, it looked amazing.
52 mold now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the 3 Seekers I have is that mold, and then a third party / KO company said, Takara, we're tired of waiting, and they made the cone heads. So I have those. Those are nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I'll be falling asleep right now during Transformer talk.
I mean,
the worst is when Decepticast goes on, dude. I'm in the background, producer mode. I'm like this, sitting like this.
Sorry,
we need an Abi camera to just like flick to during the middle.
It's just like, oh my god.
Transformers is like one of the biggest. I mean, like for me, it's just like that's like my childhood, like Transformers.
I mean, I was into Transformers as a kid too, but like when I was in Europe, but not so much anymore. And I don't know like much about it, but it's just funny because like Talib and Anna would just go off on their tangents about they started MP7 or whatever they're saying. They started saying random numbers and letters.
How are these hitting over in Europe? The blockies.
I don't know. I've just ordered some like a couple months ago. I did like a pre-order, and I ordered them for my son because I thought, hey, those are really cool, and he's really into like Legos and stuff like that. So I thought he's gonna enjoy this. But they haven't arrived yet. I don't know how big they are, quite frankly. I'm kind of out of the Transformer scene for the most part. I told you guys this offline, but I have like this cone around my head like a dog who's not allowed to, nibble at his privates when they just had surgery or something. Because I'm one of those people who I like so much different kind of stuff. Like I like Star Wars. I like Terminator. I love Aliens. Like my two favorite movies of all time: Terminator 2 and Aliens. I love Jurassic Park. If you like that Hammond collection stuff, it's like, oh my god, but it's so hard to find. And like it came out a couple months later, bam, those figures like are like 3 times the value. It's like, okay, I'm not paying that,
But
it's funny.
Velocity's revealed they are doing Jurassic Park stuff.
They are. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I was just at my Target yesterday, and I saw a Hammond collection, like Stegosaurus, for clearance pricing at like $25 or $30.
Yeah, I mean, I have an original Jurassic Park Rexy here somewhere. I used to have one mint in box, but I sold that a couple of years ago. But
is that
I
the
still
electronic
have one
one?
loose. And and the stomping still works. So
I had that as a kid. I wish I kept that. It was
Man,
a fun toy.
I remember when I was like 5 years old and in the toy store and seeing that, I was like, oh my, that's just like, that's the stereotypical go out and buy that when you're 25 or 30 years old because you didn't have it as a kid. I don't even think I know any of my friends. I don't think anyone had that because it was pretty expensive, right? Like, yeah,
I think it was a Christmas present for me when I got it.
Yeah. I had the Trasher one from The Lost World, but I never had the red T-Rex for World. Is it red?
They were so cool back in the day because the lower tiered one had like chunks that you could rip off of them. Yeah, you could see their flesh and bones.
Yeah. I mean, those toys I think are still. I think those original Jurassic Park like T-Rexes, I think they're better than the ones they put out now because my son has like a really big one that can like eat an action figure and stuff, and you can. Like, I had a Godzilla like 1998. I had a Godzilla like that, like a really big Godzilla that could eat action figures. But like they're like all hard plastic now. But like I love the rubber. It made them feel so real, and they looked great. I mean, I think those are still some of the best toys that were ever made. Those original Jurassic Park dinos. I think, those are just amazing.
I mean, plastic. I mean, everything has changed, right? People, especially with action figures in general, like not the big Godzillas and stuff. Those I don't think will change that much, articulation wise as well. Like they'll be smaller scale, but not the big ones anymore. It's just too expensive. People won't buy it. And space is always an issue.
Well, I mean, I think that was the big T-Rex they did for like one of the new Jurassic World movies. Like it was pretty affordable. We got it for my kid when he was like, he's 10 now, and I think we got it when he was like 6. I think it was like 60 euros. And like 60 euros now isn't what it was like when I was a kid. 60 euros back when I was a kid, like that was like back in francs then, still Belgian francs, but that was like. 30 euros back then was a lot of money, and now it's like you pay it for a single Ultimate.
Now it's different. I get what you're saying there,
but I don't think the quality is the same though. I think that like that really big T-Rex, like I said, it pales in comparison to the old Kenner ones. Those are just
Well, everything has become more expensive, which is why you get less for your buck today than you did back in the day.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, inflation.
Yeah. Now let me ask you about exclusives. I know there's always U.S. exclusives or Kaan exclusives, and the Asia has their own exclusives. Does Europe ever have their own exclusive?
I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think so. Here it's always like the big ones are always the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, and but the nice thing is like 10 15 years ago you could only get those at the con, I think, but now you can like pre-order them. So it's a lot more accessible now, so that's all of that kind of stuff has improved because back in the day, like if you wanted to get like the Black Series Boba Fett's SDCC exclusive, like that's like 150 200 euros.
Okay, but you're still paying that, right? With like the import fees and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like for example, what I really like now, what Mattel are doing with Mattel Creations, and like, look, their selection isn't what I would want it to be, but they are like I ordered the Nitro ring a couple of months ago, and it was like I think for you it's like $140. I think I paid in total 189 euros, but that was with shipping and all that kind of stuff. And like
That's
it
not too bad.
included the import, which was great. And I would just love, like, for example, if like a big bad toy store, for example, could say, hey, check out, we take care of the VAT. Like, you don't have to worry about it. Like, if I think that's probably what we're moving towards. Like, if more and more online retailers can start doing that kind of stuff where there's no nasty surprises on the back end anymore, I think that will in the future hopefully be possible. But like, I don't know exactly how that works. Mattel obviously are an international company. I don't know, maybe they have some workarounds with the European Union how they can do that, whereas maybe Big Bad Toy Store can't. I don't know, but like, I hope that's going to improve in the coming years. But you know, I'm hopeful for that.
Yeah, no, I get that. Now, are action figures collections viewed differently in Europe compared to other collectibles like comics or like sports memorabilia?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think that in Europe, it's still very much kind of much more niche and kind of like a weird hobby almost. Whereas I think sports memorabilia is like, I'm a big soccer shirt collector as well, actually. So I have a massive collection. You don't want to know how much money I got hanging in my in my closet there, because I collect match worn shirts. So like, and I have like a couple of hundred, I think. So
I get that life too. Because my brother-in-law is a big hockey fan, and he has a room in his house with like game worn jerseys and things like that, and he's got like the pucks and all that crap. And it's like he keeps the room locked, and there's probably about a good like 700 jerseys in that room. So.
Yeah, I think that's a lot more mainstream and socially acceptable in collecting toys still, for the most part. But like I said, I do think it is changing, and like I said, you know, like the geeks are the new cool kids. So yeah, there's that's changing, but that's definitely it.
What about comic books though? Like, comic books is still probably a norm, right? Or no?
Well, the comic book scene is very different here in Europe, I would say, because like obviously you guys have the Batman, the Spider-Mans, the Captain Americas, and we have all those, like those imported comic books. We had those as well as a kid, but like we have the local comic books like Asterix and Obelix, Suske en Wiske, Jommeke, all those Euro comics. So comics are, I would say that's pretty big to an extent, but it's very different because a lot of people like collect like the local comics. I think we don't like, you know, you guys have like the local comic book stores that also carry collectibles. For us, like the comics, we used to buy them just in like the store where you would get like cigarettes, and you would get what's that book called where you had what's coming on TV back in the day?
TV guides.
Yeah, the TV guides. So you know, and like just magazines and stuff like you know, Penthouse, Playboy.
Which is also it's a lot more normal in Europe than it is in the US to find those type of magazines.
Yeah, I mean, you know, those were
right.
Those I think we had like what you guys have in, like, for example, New York, you have like the newsstands. We had like little shops like that, and they would carry comic books. But we don't have like little like we do have them, but like it wasn't the norm to have like a comic book store. You know, it was like they carried everything. Like they had books, they had magazines, they had comic books, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I've never been to the States, so I don't know if that's, maybe comic book stores have those things as well, but did they sell TV guides and stuff like that back in the day? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about back in the day, but
growing up.
Oh, really?
I mean, like I know like Food Line and stuff used to have like comics back in the day.
Oh yeah, convenience stores. Comic books.
Yeah, convenience stores, Food Line, grocery stores. But now today it's like very different. Like I don't see comic books in grocery stores anymore. I see like, you know, you'll see like Mad TV and like Time Magazine and crap like that, but now there's like prominent like comic shops set up where you can find comic books, collectibles, and all that stuff in the shops. That's the new norm here in the States, and there's so many. I have probably about 5 or 6 of them in in a 20-mile radius from my house.
Mhm.
So, I mean, granted, I don't really read comics, but even like the discount stores too, like there's a lot of discount stores that I've been starting to go to and look at, and they have collectibles and comic books and things like that. Now, do you have discount stores? Like, I'm trying to remember, like in Germany, there was for food there was like a discount store, but it wasn't anything else in there.
Yeah, we do have like those types of stores, like Action, I think, which has like really cheap stuff, or like they'll have like soap from Eastern Europe and like Fanta from Eastern Europe, and like like, so it's like a little bit cheaper, and like the soap, and they'll have like a little toy corner where they have like the those really crappy Transformers that like are like shells, and like the really big ones, but they're like shelly, like they're
like hollowed out,
all that, but they're official Transformers, but they're like really crappy. So they'll have those, and they'll
real
have
cheap,
like,
basic.
Yeah, and they'll have like the really cheap Star Wars stuff maybe, and they'll have like a couple of Lego sets. I think Lego is probably the thing that is still the most readily available, and you can find it at any retail toy store, because Lego is both for the adult and the kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's educational toys, it's really good for motorisms for the children when they're growing up, and just creativity and all that kind of stuff, but also for adults, like they're really cool. And we have the Lego stars here as well, so like all the really cool Lego sets easily to get here, but like a lot of the like the action figure scene, I kind of feel like that's like, especially I noticed it with my kids. I don't know how it is with your kids, but like my kid like never really was into toys, and I tried, trust me, but like he thinks they're cool, but like an iPad is so much more fun, right?
Oh yeah, no. My older son is into action figures. He doesn't play with them as much as I would like. Like, because I grew up playing with toys, and like you would do like a whole story and all that crap. But use your imagination. It is a little different today. You do have iPads, TVs. Like kind of. Like, I have to force my kids to go outside and play too.
Yeah, we had TVs as well when we were growing up, but the Transformers was on Saturday morning or something, and that's when you had to watch it, and you could tape it and you could rewatch it, but like that was it. Or when you came home from school, you could watch like the Disney Festival or something. I don't know if you guys had that, like with Darkwing Duck and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, afternoon shows. Yep.
Yeah. And like or Beast Wars would be on at a certain time, but like you didn't have Netflix, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have that kind of stuff, so you were like the rest of the day you were kind of left to your own devices and figure it out yourself and make up stuff.
Feels like Cartoon Network killed like Sunday morning or Saturday morning cartoons and daily cartoons for kids nowadays. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, I loved Cartoon Network growing up. Dexter's Lab and Ed, and Eddie, that kind of stuff was great.
Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, you were back in the day we were more limited. There was a schedule, and you had to follow the schedule if you missed the show. There wasn't. Yeah, exactly. And because of that, now everything is unlimited and at your fingertips at any time, so it makes it real easy to binge watch and to just like stay glued to that forever.
It's like my kid right now is watching some BS on YouTube that
I think it.
Yeah. If only they would watch our podcast, then we would get some more views.
And watch does sometimes, like if we're live streaming, he'll be in the living room watching it, but not.
Oh, really?
He's deep into Fortnite right now, so.
Oh, I don't let my older son watch the show at all, just because of bad language.
Oh, we're allowed to swear on here? I've been trying to find like like creative ways to not say balls.
You can swear. You can swear. You can say balls. You can say a lot of that stuff.
All things accused, Avi. Balls.
You can swear like a sailor, though. So I'm part Turkish, and we have a very sweary culture. You're not allowed to swear on TV.
you're a football fan, so I would imagine there's some swearing involved in that as well.
Oh yeah, I've calmed down quite a lot since I've become a dad, but yeah, I've learned to temper the rage and keep it boiled up inside.
Now, I'm curious on some of the social media aspect of Europe or European collectors. Are there any well-known collectors or influencers in Europe that you follow?
There's a couple of people that I follow that are like customizers, and they do really cool stuff. I've noticed that like when it comes to like the WWE stuff, like most of the really high-profile customizers seems to be in the UK. I don't know why that is, but like I definitely follow those types of people. But like for the most part, I think with social media, with YouTube, and like it's all so accessible. Like I just watch mostly Americans for the most part, honestly. Like I you know, like My Damn Toys, I watch his videos quite frequently. I'll watch Cal Peterson's videos. I used to watch a lot of Optobotomus back in the day, but I don't know if he's still very active nowadays.
Yeah, he doesn't hit my algorithm anymore either.
No, yeah, he doesn't for me either. That's like, I was wondering, like, did he quit? But then I went and looked, and he's still making videos. It's weird because I got like in the 2010s, like I got bombarded with his videos, and it's like now it doesn't happen so much anymore.
There's probably a lot more YouTube stuff happening now compared to 2010, though.
Yeah, and like Shardamus Prime, for example, but I haven't seen his videos in a while either. Like, I don't know what's up with that. YouTube's doing weird stuff with that algorithm.
Anymore, Mgo's my go-to Transformers guy.
Oh yeah, Mgo's great.
Sure.
Yeah. Mgo is great. Yeah.
Mgo's great. I like
if I want to learn a masterpiece transformation, that's where I go as Mgo.
Yeah, Mgo's fantastic. I really like his videos as well. And he comes across as a really nice dude as well. So I mean, sometimes you've got these YouTubers and you're like, I don't know if that's a nice guy, but you know.
Talib.
Definitely. No, he's got the beard, man. I mean, if you got a beard like that, you got to be a nice guy.
What? I mean,
I'm just messing around.
Acknowledge me.
All right, calm down, Roman. Now, we did talk about connecting with other collectors in Europe. Now, have you thought about even starting like a group, like a European group where collectors can be invited, and then you guys kind of share the passion for collecting?
Yeah, for sure. I've done it. I back when I was really big into He-Man, I actually started a Facebook group for that. But like, you know, I mean, I have so much stuff on my plate. Like, I already manage a really big football community, so it's like. I've been thinking about it as well, like for example, with like the WWE figures, I think, why is there no like Facebook group for Euro collectors, right? Like somebody should start that. And I'm like, maybe I should start it, but I'm like, then I have to like
market it and invite people.
Yeah, and I have to. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I don't know, like. Is it the same in like the Transformers group, or like in that like there's one really big WWE group on Facebook, and the amount of scammers in there is ridiculous.
It's the internet; you'll find scammers everywhere.
That's the problem. You get too big, and then
but like I wonder like how do people fall for this? Because there's like these profiles are like they have like 3 friends or 19 friends. They have like 2 posts. They write like they're I don't know. English is not their first language. I'll put it that way. Like I had a guy like last week. Like his profile didn't look too suspicious. He had like 600 plus friends, but clearly a hacked profile in hindsight. But like I was messaging with it. I'm like, I'm not talking to an American. Like this English is not normal. Like this is African or something. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pass on this deal. He's like, oh, why? I said, well. A lot of red flags here. Bye. But it's like like these posts that get when I post something in a group like that, it's like takes like 6 hours for my post to get approved. So I'm thinking like, how are these moderators not spotting the clear and obvious scammers? Like, go on their profile. They have 20 friends. Their account existed for like a month or so. Like I understand if like it's a hack profile that slips through the cracks. I get that, but there's so many blatantly obvious ones. Like, how do those posts even make it onto those pages? I don't get it. Yeah. And like I had a guy the other day, like a couple of weeks ago, I noticed like he was replying to people in the comments, and he was clearly using ChatGPT. Like it was like the replies he was generating were. I work a lot with AI, so I noticed these things. Like, and it's like that's ChatGPT. Like, how are other people not seeing this? Like, yeah, I don't know.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, it's the internet, right? So you just have to get used to that. I mean, it's unfortunate, but everyone's trying to get a win somehow by stealing or getting money out of you.
But like, I mean, I don't know, man. If your self-worth is so cheap that you have to get like 30 euros or $30 out of a guy and like scam people for that, like, I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying, but even with the Facebook groups, like you just mentioned, like why would they not weed out scammers? You're right, but again, like they don't know really until they see it happening, right? Just because someone could be new to Facebook, someone could just be new to Facebook, and trying to join these groups and so things like that. It really depends.
There's a lot of naive people out there. Just because 4 of us here can spot a scammer doesn't mean Joe Schmo over there in Kentucky.
Hey man, I've got scams in my life, man. Sure. I bought a Lego Death Star once, and I got a box, a wooden cigar crate wrapped in Star Wars wrapping paper with a note in it instead.
What the note?
Yeah, I paid like 500 euros for Lego Death Star, and I got a broken. One of the hinges was broken. A broken cigar case wrapped in Star Wars wrapping paper. Imagine how much of a dick you have to be to go out of your way to actually send something, like just mocking someone with Star Wars wrapping paper, like you're like an evil genius or something like that. And like, I mean,
what was the note inside the cigar box?
I don't remember what it was. It wasn't mean or anything. It was like something like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but like, I couldn't send it or something." I don't know what it was, but like, and
did you try to get your money back?
Wow.
I mean, I paid via bank transfer, so I was out of my money, man. Like, if you pay, like, ever since that happened, I always use PayPal, and I refuse to use anything else. For the most part, I don't really like when I deal with somebody from America. Like sometimes they'll ask like for Cash App, but like we don't have that. We don't have Cash App.
Yeah.
There's an app in the App Store called Cash App, but it's something else. It's not the Cash App you guys have. So I can't even pay with anything else. Then I could do Western Union, but like I'm not gonna do Western Union.
Yeah, typically any person to person, it's always PayPal goods and services. I don't think I've paid any other way other than that.
I mean, I did friends and family sometimes, but that's only like if I, like, with Abby, I did friends and family, and I'm like, I can tell you're not gonna scam me, but you might, and then I'm fucked. But that's the risk. But sometimes you have it, like you talk, like I had that with the person I bought the.
That does happen. Yeah, that does happen. I mean, generally, I just give people, like, I tell people to subscribe to the channel. So I was like, listen, I'm not hiding myself. So like, I have a show. I do 3 lives a week. You could find me, and you could, like, if I scam you, you're welcome to come up in the chat and say you're a scammer.
Just remember, if he sells a hot toy Wonder Woman, read the description. It's
like broken off.
I'm not selling it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to find a wheelchair.
Oh shit! Her leg did break off, or what?
No, it didn't break. It didn't break off. I bought the hot toys. Wonder, and I didn't read again. That was my fault for not reading the description. It was missing the right leg.
Oh dear!
And it had everything else in there except for the sword and the right leg. I didn't read the description properly. And I wish there was like better photos of the actual product instead of just like the box.
Oh, I'll give you a good one. I bought on eBay. I bought Ted DiBiase, the Build-A-Figure. And it arrived, and it was missing its right foot. So I've gone and I put a different lower body on it, but like this is how it arrived. I don't know if you can see this because my camera is like, oh yeah. So it arrived like this. The foot was missing, and I was like, did I not check the eBay listing correctly? Did I fuck up? So I went on eBay and I checked it, and the picture had both feet. The description had no mention of a missing foot. So I messaged the seller, and I was pretty upset. I was like, "Yo, dude, what's up with this? Like, the figure's missing a foot. Oh, it must have gotten lost in transit." And I'm like, I'm not a customizer per se. Like, I'll like maybe mix and match some heads or something. Like I have like this I put this Vince McMahon head on like the Triple H body a while back. Okay. Sorry if my camera
it's blurring out. Yeah, you gotta put it in front of you. Yeah,
you can always use that Ted DiBiase that's missing a foot to be like a Kerry Von Erich or.
No, but so I messaged him and he's like, yeah, no, I definitely 100% shipped it with both feet. And I'm like, well, I mean, you have to heat up that figure to get that foot out. Like that couldn't have just broken off or like there's no remnants of like a broken off peg. Plus in the box there was no foot, like so bar some random guy in the middle of transit opening up the box, boiling that figure's leg, taking off the foot and like putting it back in, wrapping it back up and like continuing the shipping process. Like there's no way that you ship this with 2 feet. But fortunately the international shipping program, like it covered, like I got the figure, I got to keep the figure and I got my money back, and the guy also got to keep the money because he reported it as damaged in transit, but there's just no way. Like you ship this without a foot, man.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe the duty person stopped it and was like, "Oh shit, is that the Ted DiBiase Build-A-Figure leg that I broke my foot on? Hold on."
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, but I mean, at the end of the day, I got to keep the figure for free. I got my money back, and like, I didn't leave feedback for the guy. I'm kind of like, what should I do? Should I leave him like negative feedback or should I just leave it? And I'm like, I'll just leave it. I guess I didn't get harmed at the end of the day. I got my money back. I got a figure for free essentially. So, not the worst thing in the world, but there's some people, I didn't get it because the guy was like selling lots of buff stuff, lots of figures, and like he had 100% positive feedback. And I'm like, why would you risk your feedback for something so stupid? Like,
there's
what were you saying, Talib?
Yeah.
Oh, that was Lou.
That was Lou.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were saying something, Lou. I think he's on a 5-second delay.
Yeah, I'm lagging so badly. I'm sorry.
And so just kind of jumping.
I'm sorry. I'm still watching though.
Okay. Just to jump onto customizing, you just made a comment about customizing. So now you said that in Europe there was a lot of customizers, or like someone in social media customizing.
In the UK,
in the UK. And do you customize yourself too? You just said you made a little quick pop and swap.
I mean, no, I again, I think it's a little bit too intimidating for me. Like I have been, like, there's a lot of new bodies coming out, like not new suited bodies, and I'm so frustrated by the fact that there is like a proper Vince McMahon, like Attitude Era. And I actually just ordered the Build-A-Figure, what's it called? Paul Ellerling, because he has like an open black vest, and I'm thinking of using like the Nick Aldis Build-A-Figure torso with the open button collar, and using that body, putting that torso on there, using the jacket, same legs, and then put like a Shane McMahon head on that to have like a 1998, 1999 Shane McMahon. So in that regard, customizing, but I think that's not, that's just, mix and matching pieces. I think when you say customizing, I think like people who actually go out, 3D print, sculpt, paint, all that kind of stuff. And like, I had all my Masterpiece Transformers, for example. I had my Soundwave has like the articulated hands. So stuff like that, like replacing them, but not making it myself. I'm not like a customizer, but I do think customizing is really cool if it's done well. Like some people make some amazing stuff. Like I'm so impressed with what people can do.
I would imagine that's probably the best way you're going to get a modern Vince McMahon right now is to make it your own, just because of the his shitstorm that he has going on around.
So you're not going to see a Vince McMahon figure come out ever again. So.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know about ever again.
Oh no, he's not coming.
I mean,
another figure. That's not going to happen.
I mean, look at the shit that they said Hulk Hogan did, and they still made modern figures of him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
not as bad probably.
Yeah,
I mean, he just had a
Hulk Hogan, hasn't it?
No. They're pumping him out like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He just had a Target exclusive. A few months ago.
Target exclusive. He's like in the Legends thing. Then there was like the 4-pack or something. Yeah.
But Hogan, what did he do really? I mean, he said some really vile stuff, and he got caught on the 6th day, but he didn't commit any actual crimes. Whereas Vince McMahon has been accused of sex trafficking, I think.
Yeah,
like it's a
pretty
little
hefty accusations on him right now. So,
but if he did, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead, Lou. No.
I mean, yeah, I think with McMahon, he'll have to get cleared probably before he'll get a figure again. But I don't know if you know CMW Toys. He does a lot of really cool customs, and he actually has a custom Vince McMahon head that he recently put out. But he doesn't paint them anymore, unfortunately. So I got somebody else to paint them. So that guy's painting them right now in the UK. So he shipped, so he ordered them. It got shipped to his place. He's painting them now. And I'm looking forward to seeing the end result of that, because I think when it comes to Vince McMahon, like I haven't seen a good head from Mattel, unfortunately. I think their heads are kind of meh. I never understood, like even Jax did like a bunch of Vince McMahons, but always like with a tie or something. Like if I think of Vince McMahon, like when I got introduced to WWF, it was like the SmackDown games, because in Belgium I could only watch WCW. So like for me growing up, WCW was like my jam. But like I really got into WWF because of the games, like the SmackDown games and stuff. And so when I think of Vince McMahon, I think suit, but unbuttoned collar, and when you go back and you watch like old Raws, watch out old SmackDowns, that's how he, like between 98 and 2002, that's how he always looked. Like if he wasn't oiled up and greasy for a match, he was
oiled up and greasy a lot too.
Yeah, but then he was but you only get the oiled up figures. Where's the suited figures? That's McMahon. Like you gotta have like a McMahon for your Stone Cold to stun, right? Like he has to have a suit on. How did Mattel in 15 years not put out a proper suited Attitude Era Vince McMahon is beyond me. And then you have people saying, yeah, but they did make a suited Vince McMahon. Yeah, but it's like a 2010s Vince McMahon. Like, do I have to explain the difference?
Right.
I mean, I'm surprised you don't see a Vince McMahon wearing the black jacket with like the Raw on the back of his jacket.
Oh,
the jean jacket. Yeah,
no brainers, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think those would sell really. I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, how many people who collect figures have like an Attitude Era collection? Like
that early Attitude Era was just good stuff.
I mean, just majority of people who collect wrestling are mostly collecting Attitude Era or like the WCW versus WWE war. That's literally what they're collecting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't even watch the modern product for the most part. I still have access to WWE Network, so I can go back and watch all the old stuff. I'm actually in like early 1999 now, rewatching all the Raws and Heats and all the pay-per-views and looking. Yeah, man, Heat was good. It used to be
bullshit we have to go through to be able to watch WWE program in the States now.
I mean, I'm dreading it because we had Netflix pick up all the stuff. Like in Belgium, Netflix doesn't have Raw and SmackDown yet, but the rest of Europe they do. So I don't know what's going to happen with the network once that deal kicks into effect in Belgium. I hope I'll be able to still watch all my stuff because I had my VPN accidentally turned to Turkey a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh shit, like Raw is on Netflix, but I didn't notice that my VPN was turned on. And I was like, I couldn't access my WWE network anymore because I didn't notice my VPN was turned on. So it's like, oh shit, now I have to go watch on Netflix then. So I went to check Netflix, and it had like a couple of episodes from like 1999, but not all of them. And I was like, no, this is gonna ruin my continuity. How am I? Now what am I gonna have to do now?
Well, needing to pay $30 a month for an ESPN bullshit app to watch PLEs is
that's only in the US though.
Yeah,
other countries it's on Netflix, I think.
But I mean, it that's only a bad thing because you're used to the $9.99 now, right? But like 10 years ago, you used to pay $50 per PLE.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like $50 to $60 per.
I mean,
that's been decades. I mean, we've had the WWE network, then it was Peacock. I mean,
but how much was Peacock then?
I think it was $10 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, $30 a month is a lot, and they're throwing so much at your head now with all these different streaming services. You know, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus. What else do you have? ESPN.
I think you were better paying cable and then buying a PLE than all these different streaming services anymore. It's more expensive. It feels
maybe.
Oh, I don't know if it's more expensive. I know, like having like digital cable back in the day, like the boxes and stuff, that was like at minimum $99 to $120 a month.
Yeah, depending on your packages, but
depending on the packages.
We're adding up Netflix, HBO Max, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus,
HBO.
$20 a piece.
I think what's really important is that you need to. I mean, I don't do this myself because I'm a lazy bastard. But like, I think what you really need to do is you take a month, you binge. Like for example, I'm a big Alien fan. Like Alien Earth just came out, and I haven't watched a single episode yet. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait until they're all out, and either now I'm gonna end up downloading them, or I'm gonna take 1 month of Disney Plus, watch them all, and then cancel again. I think that's what you have to do. Like, because otherwise you're stuck. Like I was paying Disney Plus for months, and I don't watch anything on there.
That's how I was. I canceled canceled almost everything because I watch more YouTube than I do Disney Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to keep it for my kids. My kids watch Netflix. My kids watch not HBO as much really, but they watch Disney, so they watch a lot of that stuff. So I have to keep it.
The only one I keep is HBO Max because I get it free through my cell phone service.
Oh, that's nice. If my kid would watch Disney movies, I'd be totally for it because I love those old Disney movies, man. Like they're amazing, but like how many times can you watch them, honestly? And like Disney have a couple of good shows on there. Like what's that one called? Like the Rick and Morty one.
Is it called Rick and Morty?
No, the one with the aliens.
I don't watch Rick and Morty. So.
What are they called? Oh, Rick and Morty's great, man. You gotta watch.
I've heard about it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But no, it's No, not. Dang it, I can't remember it. It's like with aliens, green aliens. They're
I know what you're talking about. The Hulu one.
Yes. Yeah. What's it called? Damn.
Yeah.
But like they have some good shows on there, but it's like Solar Opposites. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Great show. Also worth to watch. But like I feel like with Disney Plus, there's a lot of stuff on there, but I don't know if there's really that much of stuff that I really want to watch. And like HBO has like, they'll have like the banger Game of Thrones, Sopranos, a couple of great shows every once in a while, but like also like I feel like it's not constant. It's not worth paying for it for an entire year, I feel.
Right.
And Amazon Prime and Netflix is the only thing I have like the entire year because Amazon Prime is dirt cheap. It's like $2.99 a month here. And then Netflix I just have per default because my missus watches it, my mom watches it. I watch it sometimes. Like I did a whole binge watch of Star Trek, the next generation last year, and then I started watching what's the one after that with
Voyager
with the space station.
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, so I'm halfway through Deep Space Nine now, but now I've gotten into a really big wrestling binge. So it's like, and this is the kind of stuff late at night when I'm when we go to bed, that's when I watch shows for the most part on my phone. So, I fall asleep after 30 minutes or something. So it's like,
I've been
like
tempted
you guys,
to get YouTube Premium just because of the amount of YouTube I watch.
Yeah, same.
I've been debating about the same thing. Yeah,
I think that's like almost the best bang for your buck, because I watch a ridiculous amount of YouTube, and like
usually I'm at work, I have YouTube on and I'm listening to it in my AirPods and doing whatever at work.
I think it lets you lock too. If you get premium, you could lock your phone.
It does, and that's the thing though, because I think it's $13.99 a month, which I think is way too much for what you get. But once you pull that trigger once and you get it, you can't go back. It's like crack, It's like, like don't do it if you're on the fence.
It's like on my commute to work, I usually listen to a show, and if I'm getting more ads on it than I am not. That's not good.
Yeah, YouTuber's great at that. Like Spotify, you can keep the free version because you'll get like 3 or 4 songs, and then they'll do like a 30-second ad, and it's okay. But YouTube is like bombarding you with ads, and if you are used to the premium version, and then you have to go back, in the beginning of YouTube Premium, they had like their own shows and stuff. Like they had some really good shows. There was like a show I watched that was really good. I don't remember what it's called. It was like a young kid that was like bashing people's brains in with a baseball bat. But like
what?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. It was a good show though. It was like about this. I don't know. It was like I don't remember what it was called, but it was really good.
Okay.
There's like 1 or 2 seasons of it, but I don't think YouTube are doing that anymore. I think they're kind of like, we get the money anyway. People, once they pay for it 1 month, they'll keep paying because now they can't stand the ads anymore.
That's how I was with Spotify. I do have the paid version of Spotify, and part of it was skips too, because you get unlimited skips. Wasn't there like a 6 or 7 skips per hour?
Yeah, maybe. But like the thing is, if you got YouTube Premium though, why would you get Spotify still? Because you get everything you can find on Spotify, you can find on YouTube, and YouTube has like a lot of podcasts.
There's the music too. You have
YouTube. You make your own playlist on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And most podcasts are available on YouTube as well now. It's I used to listen to a lot of podcasts on the podcast app, but nowadays I just either watch them on YouTube or I listen to them on YouTube. I just have my phone on
Spotify. I'm not gonna get rid of the premium.
I use
Hulu, and it's only like $8 or $9.
Okay.
Yeah, but only $8 or $9 here, then $8 or $9 there. And the end of the month, you're paying $60 on 3 different things, or 4 different things, or whatever. I think
Spotify. Don't change me.
Hey man, you do what you want.
Yeah, do what you want, Talib.
It's less Transformers. Think of it that way. It's like a core class Transformer. You're wasting every month on Spotify.
Stop hitting me with facts.
Now, just to kind of go back to, because I'm kind of done with a lot of my questions, but just to kind of bring it back to the toy topic of collecting in Europe, it sounds like it's a pain in the ass, to be honest with you.
It kind of is, but what I think what I really like about toys and collecting toys, I feel like it's one of the most zen hobbies you can have, because there's no, other than like the little frustrations with like distribution and stuff, and the FOMO is the probably the biggest negative about toy collecting. But I think compared to other hobbies, like for example, like I said, I'm big into football/soccer. When you're big into sports, whether it's basketball, football, American football, hockey, it doesn't matter. You always have this bipolar effect on your mood where, your team lost, now you feel like shit. Even with wrestling, like I think what I'm doing, like I'm going back and watching the old stuff, so it's pointless to get frustrated about booking that happened 27 years ago. But like if I look online, like people, how worked up they get about the booking situation. It's like like sports. I'm a big I'm a big sports fan, but like that's a hobby that brings with it inherent frustrations, and I don't think you have that with toy collecting as much. I think toy collecting, it brings you back to your happy place. You know, when you were young, when you were a kid, it's all warm, fuzzy feelings. Whether
mine is the fear of missing out, and mine is when you can't get something that you wanted.
Yeah, mine is that, and of course,
tried transforming an X-Transbots live on camera behind your ring light.
No, but I think you got really sweaty, I imagine.
A couple times.
No, but I mean, you know, I still think it's like a really good hobby to have, because like other people, they'll, for example, not that there's anything wrong with that, but like they'll be into cars and they'll have like this car they're working on and it costs a lot of money. But you know, actually that's not a bad hobby either, because probably it keeps the value or goes up even. It's probably a good investment if it's a nice car.
But like, there's always that satisfaction when putting something together or fixing something.
Yeah. But we have like in Europe this, like, I don't know how big it is in the States, but like the tuning scene, and then you have like people buying like silly cars like a Peugeot or a Honda, or and then they put like spoilers on them and lower them and all that kind of stuff. Like,
it used to be very big. It used to be.
I was going to say, I don't know how big it is now, but like the height of Fast and the Furious when that first movie came out, that was a pretty big scene, and I think that's why that movie was made.
But if you do that to like a proper car, like a BMW or something, like okay. But if you do that to like a Fiat Punto, or I don't know, like it's like it's still a shitty car. I mean, shitty is a big word, but like it's, you know, it's I mean, Honda, you know, it's Japanese, so they're usually pretty good. But I don't know, you know, it's like. I don't know. I don't want to disparage anyone else's hobbies, but I think that toy collecting is, for me at least, it's definitely like in a somewhat of to an extent, I think, escapism and
escape from reality.
Yeah. And you know, if you follow things going on in the world today, I mean, this is of course of all times, but like there's some stuff out there where you're like, oh my god, like
yeah.
No, you know, that's kind of like how our motto's been. It's like, we don't want to talk about that shit. Don't bring it here. You know, this is our escape. This is you know, what we do for fun.
This is the hobby. This is the fun thing. I don't want to. If I don't want to talk about my hobby and keep it fun, I'll talk about the real world, and that's not fun anymore, right? So
exactly. Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. You know, like, you know, toy collecting. I started it started for me like as a stress relief, because I was working a lot. I was working 70, 80 hours a week. It was just a high stress job I had.
70, 80 hours? That's like double what a full-time shift is in Europe.
It was really bad.
That's insane.
But again, I was very career oriented at that point in time. Today's a very different story. Like, now I've fully divested myself into the hobby, and I don't want to work like crazy hours anymore.
No, of course,
and all that
like,
stuff. So,
but maybe as well, like with the podcast, I don't know how good it's going right now, but like that's also like a nice additional income you can generate with that as well, and then you could kind of turn your hobby into your. You know...
I give it all back anyway, honestly, with the amount of giveaways I do on this. On the show. So,
but it's at least, you know what, for us, like one of the big things was because in the beginning we only did audio podcasting, and it's like you have to pay hosting, and that's expensive. It's like $150 a year or something, and then you have to. I mean, we used Skype for the longest time, but then they discontinued it. Now we had to switch to Teams, so now we had to take like a Microsoft 365 subscription. So that's another cost. So I think when it comes to this stuff, if you can do this and not have to pay for it, and it can be free, and maybe you can earn a little bit extra on top to maybe do giveaways, or you know, even to like be able to afford new hardware upgrades and stuff like that. I think that's a really good thing to do. But you never know, if your channel blows up, you might end up making decent money on it as well. Like,
I mean, that's very true. I mean, that's always the hope, right? To blow up and kind of get bigger, right? We're fairly new. I mean, at the end of next month in November, we'll hit 1 year.
Yeah.
So
you're doing great. Like we've been on YouTube for. I mean, our channel has existed since 2018, but we started doing live streams and video content on YouTube last May, I think. So we're on like a little over a year, and we just hit like the 4,000 watch hours mark like last month, and we hit like 1K subscribers like the month before that or something. And we have like a super niche thing because we're talking about a Turkish one club, not all the clubs, just the one club, Turkish football club, and we're doing it in English, so it's like super niche. But yeah, it's like it's still I really like YouTube, just to come back to the YouTube versus Spotify thing, but like the natural growth you can have on YouTube, you could never have that before because you were stuck on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever, and people would have to search. Like even now, like I was trying to, after I watched your interview with Bill McKenna, I was trying to see if I could find some other interviews with him, because I love to hear that kind of inside baseball stuff. And I typed in his name on YouTube, and like your video didn't even come up. It's like,
oh really?
What's up with that? Like like
yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, I can imagine that too, though. Like again, like the amount of stuff, like YouTube is weird when it comes to what shows up. Because especially recently, they had a recent update, and all I see now is like stuff from like 4 years ago or 1 year ago, and it's like, hey, look at this video. It's like, I've already seen this like a year ago. Like, why is this showing to me again?
Yeah, but when you like, for example, when you like you look for Bill's name, like you'll find like all his like Comic-Con like small interviews, like 10 15 minute interviews or something. But like, I love watching long form stuff, like 2-hour interviews or whatever. So I'm like, I'm sure he did your podcast, I'm sure he did some other podcasts, but you can't find it. Like if you look at his name, like I'm not getting it in the results. It's really weird.
That is a little strange. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it is YouTube, so
yeah.
Welcome back, Lou.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello. But I mean, you and me, we were talking about this, how collecting can be very cyclical, right? Like you have like your interest in, for example, WWE, and then like it cools down and you get more into
something else,
like Star Wars or something. I'm curious how it is for the rest of you guys. Are you like always into Transformers and stuff, or does it change as well? Do you go hot and cold on it sometimes?
So my big thing is I'm a nostalgia whore when it comes to just toys that I collect. So Transformers is always probably going to be my number one. Luckily, since I'm in Masterpiece, I'm not getting nailed like I am with G.I. Joe, because G.I. Joe is probably my number two.
Yeah.
But I've slowly been dipping into Marvel Legends, and when they did this Gamerverse shit, that's what because I want like game representation of stuff.
Yeah.
And I've kind of been wanting to get like X-Men, like 90s X-Men stuff, and they're just shit up right now too.
Yeah.
So I got to cool it a little bit on Marvel Legends, but
I get I'm the same with X-Men for sure. I had like the bunch of the mainline, like the Tiger Stripe Wolverine and stuff, but then they brought out like the 97 stuff. I'm like, oh my god, this looks so good, I have to get this, but I didn't pull the trigger. I do have the one in like the video cassettes boxes, like I have like Cyclops and Wolverine and stuff like that, but
it kind of has a cell shade deco to it.
Part of me really likes those, because like the packaging is great, but on the other end, like you don't have a window, so you can't even see if your figure is messed up or not.
Right.
It's like a mystery box.
It's rough trying to collect Marvel Legends too, and like when you're collecting multiple Hasbro stuff, terrible. The way they're like what I mentioned earlier, how they're shipping stuff, it's been kind of rough. But a lot of this stuff's not selling out, so just take your time. You don't have to.
But the advantage with Marvel and with like wrestling, I feel, is like you can kind of pick and choose. Like you can say, okay, I like X-Men, so I'll buy the X-Men stuff, or I'll buy the Spider-Man stuff, but I'm not gonna buy the Captain America or the movie stuff or whatever. You can do that if you're not a completist, because like if you're a completist, that's horrible.
Screwed.
I think then you're screwed. Like you have to take out a second mortgage on your house or something. But like and the same thing is true with I feel like with the wrestling figures. Like for example, for me, like I'll have like a couple of modern figures. Like I have like a Roman Reigns. I just bought a Cody off of Abi, and I have like a Seth Rollins, and I want to get like a CM Punk or something. But like for the most part, my collection is like all Attitude Era WWF and WCW, and they're putting a lot of stuff out, but I feel like it's not overwhelming. When I was collecting Star Wars, I felt like it was like I can't keep up with this shit, man. They're throwing so much stuff at your head, and like you just tap out.
Even with Star Wars, like we're talking about the cyclical. I started when I started collecting figures in general. I started with wrestling, and then I was all in. I was buying everything. And eventually I started, seeing other lines, and I started seeing DC, the Star Wars, and that got my interest. Marvel Legends, that all piqued my interest. And then, I've went through 4 iterations of wrestling. I've been through 4 iterations of Star Wars. So and I would let them go. Literally, I would sell most of the figures and then just buy everything again.
Well,
but
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the funny thing with Star Wars now is all the new content's really been crap.
Yeah.
And they're going back to the old school and since a lot of the late 90s 2000 kids are getting in that collector's range, we're seeing a lot of the prequel stuff.
Yep.
But the prequels are so
prequels are
overhated,
definitely making
man.
a comeback for sure.
I love the prequels, man. I grew up on the original movies because I got introduced to Star Wars with Return of the Jedi. My uncle had like a video cassette taped from television. That's the first movie I ever watched, like the original version of Return of the Jedi. And then I went back, and so I started backwards, but then I went and watched the other ones from the video store. And then in '96, of course, the remakes came out, or like the
special
remakes,
editions,
but like the special editions came out. So then the toys, I think the Power of the Force.
Yeah.
I think the Power of the Force figures came out in like '94, so that's when I started getting into Star Wars. But then with the special editions, they started bumping out the green card figures. So I was really into that as well. And like, I grew up on the originals, but then the new movies came. I loved the Phantom Menace. I think I watched it 3-4 times in the cinema. I mean, when Qui-Gon dies, I still get choked up. Oh, sorry, but I still get choked. I still get choked up when he dies. I think that movie's like, other than, okay, the kid isn't the greatest actor in the world, and Jar Jar's a little annoying, maybe, but like, why nitpick? Like, you can enjoy the good stuff, and not get too worked up over the stuff you don't like. Like, for example, like the new movies. Like, I actually the Force Awakens I thought was good, but then they did the last.
Nostalgia. It made you feel. Bring the back
and there were some issues, like how Rey was like beating Kylo in the first movie already. It's like, I kind of feel like you have to build up to that, but it's like there were issues, but like I thought the first movie was fine, I liked it, and I was looking forward a lot to the second one. Like, there was so much speculation online. I remember like how excited people were, and like with all these theories, and then the movie came out and I saw it and I was like, what is this?
It was a massive disappointment.
Leia flying through space. But like the Mandalorian, I really liked the Mandalorian, and I liked. I'm probably in the minority, but I liked the Book of Boba Fett as well.
I actually did too. I liked Book of Boba.
I'm a huge Boba Fett fan, and okay, maybe it was like kind of too much focused on Jyn, but I think it was okay.
Yeah, I try not to overthink like media like that, like a lot of people are that are hypercritical. I just try to sit there and enjoy it,
Yeah. And you also, I think what a lot of people, the trap they fall into is like, oh, George Lucas, remember when the episode, the prequels came out, it's like, oh, George Lucas, you ruined our childhood. But like those original, okay, he did ruin the childhood by superimposing on Darth Vader when he throws Palpatine down the shaft, because the music in that scene is just like, don't add the extra crap, because the scene is magical as it is. With the whole in it ruins it. So he did ruin our childhood there. But I don't think, if you don't like new iterations of the media coming out, doesn't devalue what came before. It's like, I'm a huge Alien fan. I love the first movie. The second one is one of my all-time favorites, together with Terminator 2. The third one is good, but not great. I hate that they killed off Hicks and Newt off screen and stuff like that. Like, I thought that's big mistakes they made. But like, it's not because Alien 3 was a disappointment that suddenly Aliens isn't still an absolute masterpiece and one of my all-time favorite movies. And I think that applies to any media. Like, it's not because the new stuff Disney are pumping out is maybe not great that the old stuff isn't still great, and you can still be a fan of the old stuff.
Well,
I mean,
I think people still are a fan of the old stuff too, though. Like
mm,
they just don't. They just want to be opinion about the new stuff from Disney.
You know what fan is short for, right? Fanatic. So when they
true.
do stuff that we don't
Yeah.
approve
Yeah.
of, we just
Yeah.
the fan
That's
turns into a
yeah.
fanatic.
Yeah, and that's a different word for extremism in a way. So, not to make it too political here, but but yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, it's true. But it's like, and look, I can get caught up in that as well. Like when the last Jedi came out, I was like, I need to vent. But like and you know what, that's the first movie I think that I've ever. Like for me, I'm a big Star Wars fan. I listened to a lot of audiobooks. I think a lot of the audiobooks from Star Wars were great. Like the new Tron ones by Timothy Zahn are amazing. And I think that's the first time in my life that I ever went like 6 months without consuming any Star Wars. Like nothing. I've never had that in my life. Like where I had something that so disenfranchised me, so disillusioned me that I had to like just quit cold turkey for a while. And in like 6 months, I think I didn't consume any Star Wars media. And then the Solo movie came out, and people were like bombarding it on IMDb with negative reviews. And I watched it, and I was like, "This isn't bad."
I actually enjoyed the Solo movie.
Darth Maul is back. Like, come on, like give me the second movie. And then like people with their review bombing and stuff like that, they kind of ruined that. And I think now are they doing a Darth Maul show now or something, or was that a fake AI thing I saw? It might have been a fake AI thing. I don't know.
That would be fun though.
I'd like to see where Khaleesi went after the end of Solo, and
exactly. Yeah. Emilia Clarke. Yeah,
their journey.
Yeah,
and she wasn't bad in it. I thought she was good, and I think like the turn was good as well. Like it was a good heel turn, right?
It was a good cast too.
It was a good cast, yeah. No, I actually enjoyed Solo a lot. But even with collecting Star Wars, you have so much, like you have the prequels and the original trilogy stuff, and then you have the new Mando stuff. I just decided for my collection with Star Wars stuff, Imperial. I'm not doing Clone Wars. I'm not doing prequel. I'm just keeping to Imperial.
Yeah, I didn't like the initial Black Series figures. I thought they were really bad. Like the first couple of waves, like they weren't good. Other than like the Boba Fett. Boba Fett was amazing, but like Boba Fett's always amazing.
I mean, it might be a little biased too, though.
No, but I think with a character like a Stormtrooper and like Boba Fett, Darth Vader, like it's hard to mess those up because they're in suits. But like if you have to do like a humanoid face, like those first waves, like the human faces were really bad. I thought like the Lukes, the Hans, and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of pushed me towards like the SH figure arts, which I thought, oh my god, these look incredible. Like they're like downsized hot toys almost in terms of sculpt and quality and that kind of stuff. And I had the same reaction when I first saw the NECA Terminator figures, but then with NECA, oh man, I think NECA is so frustrating because their sculpts are so good, but their plastic is so shit. Like, what is up with that? Like, their figures. I mean, if they would just,
I think today they're better. But
maybe
you need to worry. Like, I mean, I have some of the I have a Pee Wee Herman from NECA that came out more recently, and it's a good figure. Like, I mean, you can mess with it; it doesn't break on you. Like, I have the entire TMNT movie turtle stuff, right?
Yeah. Those are amazing. Yeah,
I haven't opened any of them yet, and then like I already know people have already told me like, listen, you need to heat these things up.
And for me, like the experience for the most part with the NECA ones wasn't even the figures. Like the figure quality plastic was okay. Like I get that like heated up probably with the joints and stuff, but like the first ones they did, like especially the Terminator ones, had like their legs were like in a set pose and only their arms moved. Like they were on ball joints. They weren't great either. But like the frustration for me there was like those weapons were made out of like dust or something. Like you touch them and they break, and it's like, okay, these aren't expensive figures, but like, why do you insist on using shitty plastic? Like, their sculpts are so good, and that's why I ended up selling all my Alien stuff, which I super regret now because I had like Hicks and Hudson and all those kind of like those go for like ridiculous money now, but I sold them because I was like, despite my favorite, maybe my favorite IP of all time, and like my favorite movie of all time, but like these figures are gonna break if I take them out. So why would I keep them? But now I kind of regret it. I figured that somebody else would pick up the line at some point, but that hasn't happened. So where's my Space Marines? You know,
I would like to see like a Starship Troopers line show up.
Oh my god, yeah,
that would be fun.
Not those Space Marines. He's talking about the ones from Aliens.
colonial Marines.
My bad. My bad.
No, it was my bad. I called them Space Marines and they're Colonial Marines. I mean, what's the guy from Splinter Cell?
Would you like to know more?
Yeah, but what's the actor called again? He's the voice from Sam Fisher in Splinter Cell, and he's in.
Oh god, dang it!
Total Recall, man. Total Recall, so good, man.
Why
are there no toys of Total Recall? Like you could have like the tree-boobed woman, like everyone and their mom would buy that.
She had 3 hands.
Yeah, I got 5 kids to feed. That movie's so good, man. And Arnold's
I had to Google it. It's Michael Ironhide.
Michael Ironside. Yeah, right.
Or Ironside, not Ironhide.
Yeah,
I'm going to take it to Transformers now.
Yeah. Michael Ironside. But like he was great in Starship Troopers, man. What was his line again? Like, get up, you maggots, or something. I don't know, but it was like perfect. Then he gets dragged down the hole, and his arms like.
It's like how that movie's like a whole parody to like government and
the military. It's a massive satire. But the first RoboCop was as well. At Paul Verhoeven, that's his style. Like the first RoboCop was just a massive satirical take on American culture, essentially.
Who else was in that? Starship Clancy Troopers, Brown had a really good role in Starship Troopers. He was
that again?
Drill sergeant when they were in.
Right. And you had you had Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
Yep.
What was the show he did as well? Again,
Doogie Howser.
Yeah. Never watched that, but I'm familiar with it. But yeah, and then you had what was her name? Charlie Sheen's wife,
Denise Richards.
My god,
yeah,
she was like.
The other actress, though, is more my style.
The redhead?
Yeah. With the curly hair.
The redhead.
The redhead.
Still fine to this day. She does a lot of dancing videos on Instagram and Twitter. I don't know how I know that. I just.
Hey, Denise Richards was like back then. She was like smoking as well, man. And and in Total Recall, what's her name?
Sharon Stone was in Total
Sharon Stone.
Yeah,
she was so drop dead gorgeous in that movie, man. Like that. I think for me,
late 80s, early 90s.
Dude, I haven't seen Total Recall in like 15 years.
Total Recall is such a good movie, and it holds up. Like that's the thing that I really like about these old movies. Like a lot of them with like the practical, like the first Terminator movie is kind of like, you know, when it's like the stop motion is kind of like it's not great, but like Terminator 2 is still to this day I think incredible movie. Like other than maybe the CGI with the when the T-1000 like morphs, like it looks a little dated.
Even with the poor CGI and all that, but it's still a good movie. Like they did a good job making it.
It's you know it kept doing
the whole time. So
Terminator 2 and Aliens I think are like the two of the best all-time sequels, you know, like they're top 5 for sure, like all-time sequels. I think
as much as I loved learning about universes, they should have stopped at Terminator 2.
Salvation
was fun. I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either.
You didn't like Terminator 3?
No.
With that chick from Species?
Terminator 3 was too.
That was Christina Loken.
Yeah,
wasn't the
Tasha Hentridge. Get your 90s hot. Get nudie girls.
That's correct. 2003 though. It's not 90s anymore.
2000.
But no, Terminator 3 was like they hammed it up way too much. Like they didn't take the IP seriously. I thought they were like too cheeky with it. You know, too tongue in cheek. Like when he goes into the strip bar and then comes out with the star sunglasses and stuff, and also I just I love Arnold to death, but like I don't think he looked good anymore at that point. He was like 55ish then, and like he was 43 or something in Terminator 2. I think he still looked great, but like towards the end of the 90s, early 2000s when he, age catches up to everyone, right? And like he just didn't look as good anymore, even though physically maybe supposedly had the the exact same measurements and all that kind of stuff. But I'm a huge Arnold fan. Don't get me wrong, like
But, he was in wrestling as well.
Last
He
Action
punched
Hero
Triple
is
H.
one of my favorite movies, and that one got shit on back in the day too.
Which
Last Action Hero was good too. Last Action Hero? That was a good movie.
Oh, I love Last Action Hero, man. That's such a good movie. They had toys as well, right? You remember those?
Yeah. They
Mhm.
did his car.
They did.
Were they LJNs or who?
I think it was
put them
Kenner.
out? Might have been Kenner. Yeah. Yeah, I never had those though. Like I had the Terminator toys, which I thought were amazing. Like I had the Endoglow Terminator endoskeleton, which was just so cool. And
Because what they did, they used a lot of those Terminator molds of Arnold and made Last Action Hero figures out of it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I saw some of those Last Action Hero figures. I was like, should I buy those? But I'm like, nah. I have one Kenner action figure from Terminator, like the one where he has like the cut off, the one that looks closest to how it looked in the movie, other than he has cut off sleeves and
And the Last Action Hero soundtrack is low key great.
Yeah.
The rock music that's from that movie.
Yeah, it's
That
amazing.
was
a great movie.
killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
And Jingle All the Way is for me. It's like still a Christmas. That's my go-to Christmas movie, man. It's a great. I mean,
it's got a good wrestling tie-in too, because you had Paul Wright played the giant Santa.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Yeah, when they're in that warehouse with the guy from K9. What's his name again? John Belushi.
John Belushi. Yeah.
I don't know
Jim.
people's
Is
names.
Jim or John Belushi? Jim Belushi, right? His brother was John.
Yeah, John. Yeah, Jim Belushi. His brother was.
Jim
It was
Belushi.
Jim.
From what was his sitcom called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I never watched it.
Something with according to Jim.
Yeah,
it was decent. It was decent as well. But yeah, I mean, if I keep rambling too long, Abby, just cut me off, man. Just hey, we have to go or something. I don't know.
I mean, we crossed the 2-hour limit already, so I mean, at this point, we can end it whenever you want to end it. But
I can keep talking for hours. You'll have to stop me.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But just kind of going back to action figures for a second, like, so we were talking about the Europe collecting and things like that, and the customizing. Now, so you made a comment about buying figures online, and it's mostly, I guess, is there any vendor in Europe? Or I'm assuming in the UK is probably where the bigger online vendors are. Is that where you would buy action figures from in Europe?
Amazon is relatively new in Europe. I know you guys have had it for 20 years or something, but we in Belgium actually, we were using Amazon.de, so the German version, for a couple of years when that started up. I think that I want to say Amazon became like a thing in like the mid 2010s in Europe. I want to say maybe I think the .co.uk one was around longer than that, but Amazon carries quite a lot of action figure stuff. Like I actually just those Megatrons, I just ordered those of Amazon. The problem with Amazon is like they ship it in like a box with like a single bubble to protect like 3 figures. It's like they don't package properly, So like if you want to keep stuff mint on card, like it's kind of a gamble with Amazon. I feel like most of the time the boxes will arrive like in decent condition, but like But like Amazon is like I used to buy a lot on the UK Amazon because they charged me like £5 shipping or something, but the prices were fair, so I didn't mind. But ever since Brexit, like I can't order there anymore because I have to pay import. So
I was about to say, hopefully you guys don't get the same problem we have with Amazon. People return figures,
and
then they put a different figure in it.
And
then Amazon reships that to somebody else that buys it, and they get figure swaps.
Yeah, I've never had that, but like I see a lot of those pictures like from Walmart and Target on like the Facebook groups. Like it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, that's a trend. I got the feeling like people are doing that just for the lulz. Like, there's just some they put in there.
Oh, there's some of that for sure.
Yeah, the figure you put in there costs more than the one you swapped. Like, there's
that's
definitely
true. Yeah.
There's there's people who put stickers on the box, like, and they say like swapped by whatever. Like, it's
I've
like,
seen that.
I mean, that's definitely a trend that hasn't yet come over to Europe. I'm sure it'll come at some point, but like I would imagine that kind of stays confined to the UK maybe for a while. I don't think mainland Europe, because so much of what we do is online, I think. So I do. I hope that trend doesn't come here.
Now, does Amazon do you get
better
the item in 2 days?
For the most part, I think, I ordered the Megatrons like on Wednesday maybe or Tuesday, and I think they arrived yesterday. So that took longer than usual. And there's like an Ultimate John Cena in his like Knicks jersey that I ordered, and for some reason it was a pre-order on our Amazon. And it's coming in like December or something. And also something I noticed, like you guys have like the one in his crown jewel green shirt. Like in the States, in the Facebook groups, I see people asking like $70-$80 for that figure. And like on our Amazon, it's just available for retail price, which I think is weird. Like it's the one I'm skipping because that's like a modern version of Cena, and I'm not a big fan of like his modern look with the bald spot and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, nothing against the bald spot, but like, I mean, I don't think
there's nothing wrong with bald people.
No, absolutely nothing. But I think aesthetically, like Cena doesn't look the part anymore. So I understand why he's. I mean, I think he still looks great. Obviously, he's for a 40-year-old man, he looks amazing. No homo. But like, he looks great. I mean, but for a wrestler, I mean, if you compare him to how he looked in his prime, like he's a lot skinnier. I mean, when he came back, he was like paler than a corpse.
I think he's transitioning into
100%. No problem. I'm not one of those fans who's gonna like, oh my god, you're getting bald. not that, but like I but it's like I mean, I don't think he like when I think of John Cena, I think it is like that's like the look.
The rapper. I think of the rapper. I love the thugonomics phase of John Cena.
That's the bad part about like being a wrestling fan over years and generations, like because you see them in their prime, and then it's a reminder that you're getting older as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I can see every day if I rewatch our show, all the gray hairs I have. I put some wax in it today so I would look younger.
It's like Matt Hardy's one for me because you see how he walks to the ring just from the injuries. How it's just taking toll to his body, and he's still going out there to perform. You don't see that with a lot of the guys, but that was one of the first ones that was really noticeable to me from the attitude.
I mean, Mick Foley, right? Mick Foley, and even like 2001. Like, I mean, I love Mick Foley. He's one of my all-time favorites as well. Like, I think he's he's amazing. Also, great person, great human being. Yeah. Like that's sometimes that's the kind of stuff. Like for me, like the thing with all the fandom with wrestling is like sometimes you find out people are kind of assholes or like really not fun good people. Like I think Ultimate Warrior had some really vile stuff that he said like in the early 2000s and stuff like about gay people and all that kind of stuff. And it's like I don't own a single Ultimate Warrior figure, and it's not like I'm like like I don't but I was never a big fan of him in the first place. Like I thought his figures were cool, and like when I was a kid, and I'd go I remember going to a birthday party, and like one of my friends had like an older brother, and he had like all the old Hasbros, like the ring and like the Ultimate Warrior. And I thought the Ultimate Warrior figure looked really cool, but like when I was growing up, like Ultimate Warrior was kind of out of it, so I never really grew up with him. So I don't have that sentimental attachment to him. Plus he was like he was like the Goldberg before Goldberg, but I grew up with Goldberg. Goldberg's like I thought he was I thought Goldberg was cool until I always
thought Goldberg was overrated though.
Well,
I mean of course, I mean
he was but I loved Goldberg anyway.
But the match he had with Lesnar, like the one where Lesnar jumps over him, that's like that's from the recent. That's one of the best matches I've seen, and that's 99% Brock Lesnar. Yeah. But like the first match Goldberg squashed him. But then in the second match, it was looking like he was like he was gonna do it again. But then he sets up for a spear, and Lesnar just leapfrogs over him, and he hits the post. And I'm like, that was like one of the coolest spots.
Isn't that when he knocked himself out?
No, I think that was a good. I mean, he might have. He did it
He
a couple of times.
he's knocked
Himself out a couple of times. But like, I think and like for me, like that really made me appreciate the like how good Brock Lesnar really is, because especially like in his like return run, you didn't always get to see how good he was, because he would just the whole Suplex City just ragdoll everyone around, and like you wouldn't actually see how good he is because he got booked in a way where he didn't show almost any weakness. But like, I think
at the same time he wrestled Randy Orton and just like cracked him over the skull, and he was just bleeding like
I
crazy.
think so.
With the elbows. Yeah.
The elbows.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I remember when Brock Lesnar first came out against the Hardy Boys, he like literally ate them up. Like this is like when he first debuted, I think.
Yeah, when his strap muscles were above his ears.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like he was just a monster, dude.
Do you remember when he was coming back from his diverticulitis and he was coming back to wrestling, and his gut kind of looked like he was not in great shape?
Now he's got abs again.
Yeah.
And now he looks like ridiculous. And you see it on Facebook, you're like, people like, oh, he's definitely doing steroids. He's like, yeah, but he's also like, how old is he? 48? Like, I mean, I'm 36. I can start taking steroids.
Well, have you guys seen those? Like that, Have you guys seen those documentaries about OVW of just the class that was there when it was Brock, Cena, Batista?
I haven't seen the documentary, but like just that generation of Benjamin. Yeah, exactly. Like
fucking studs.
Yeah, insane. It's insane. Yeah. If you see, like, so many of those guys became like all-time greats, right? Like, but it's also you see the
legends. Yeah.
But if you look at the like WWF in the 90s and like in early 2000s, like all of those guys were like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Like Scott Hall's like 6'6" or something, and he doesn't look tall when you see him next to some of like And nowadays, like all these guys are like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". No problem with that, by the way. I'm 5'9", so But
I'm
like
5'9". I got no problem with that.
No, I mean, absolutely not.
Are we telling each other's heights now? How tall are you, Alex?
Let's know how tall you are.
On a good day.
I'm 6 foot.
Okay. But nowadays, like the wrestling culture has shifted so much. Like the athletes are getting smaller, but more athletic, I guess, in a lot of ways. But I mean,
it's definitely changed from like giant monsters looking to more like normal looking.
Yeah, it's definitely changed for the better in that way, I think. But also, I think sometimes you just need a monster, and I prefer like a Brock Lesnar Goldberg type monster than like a Braun Strowman.
Speaking of Braun, have you heard he's in the running to be Jason Voorhees?
Yeah, I read that the other day. Yeah,
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a crazy freak athlete, though. But like, I mean, I was never really into him too much. But what I do find like frustrating about wrestling today is like it's too much flippy floppy, man. Like I loved the cruiserweights in WCW. I thought they were amazing, but now it's like I don't know. They're more, especially like AEW.
I was gonna say AEW is so like literally every move is like something ridiculous.
Spot and nobody sells.
It's a spot.
No selling whatsoever.
Yeah, that's the problem exactly. Like I'm like
a used to be devastating. Now it's just a chop.
DDT, the pile driver used to finish matches, and now it's like it's just a transitional move. And I but WWE does that as well. Like it's not just AEW, of course. Like but I don't know. Right. It's there's still some really big stars in wrestling nowadays, but obviously it's not like it was in. I don't think we'll ever get what the Attitude Era was.
I mean, the one thing I could definitely appreciate about wrestling today is the international concept of it. Like they've gone worldwide. Like you have AAA who's now joined with WWE. They bought them out, and you have a whole new dynamic to introduce there. I like the fact that they're going to Europe, they're going to Asia, they're going to all these other countries. I really like that, and it just kind of. But at the same time, though, they need to start doing more. Like you have only 3 shows or 2 shows you do, or maybe 3 shows, but you need to do more. You need to bring out in different countries. You got to establish all that.
But what we were talking about earlier, pricing.
Mhm.
You got to fix that pricing. Because I think it was Bischoff that was talking about this, how wrestling has always been a generational thing where you bring your kids to the shows, and then the kids, it gets ingrained into their mind, and then they start to repeat that process.
It's the same with any sport, right?
These prices, they're going to kill the next generation of fans.
Yeah. And we're seeing that in football as well in Europe, because we're seeing more and more of that. Like there's talk of like moving La Liga matches to the States, and they play the La Liga Super Cup in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that, and they're starting to alienate their base. And I think it's fine to be a fan of an internet. Like I'm a fan of a club that's like 3,000 kilometers away from me. Like I can't go to every home game, but I don't expect them to come play home games in Belgium. I think, but I think for the American fans, like for example, like the WrestleMania getting moved to Saudi Arabia, that's a big blow. I think American
it's all money.
fans,
It's all money based.
of course, they're getting 350 million for that. So can't.
TKO Group went into like some kind of weird. They took a big loss on something. I remember reading about this, or they went into the hole, like built by billions of dollars, and now they're trying to dig themselves out of that hole.
Yeah,
and that's why you see this changing of the PLEs to ESPN. That's why you see. A lot of this stuff it's done on purpose just to get them out of this giant hole that they did.
Was that? For
but again, it's all
WWE.
Huh?
Was that for partly paying for WWE?
I think so too. That's partly paying for WWE.
I mean, how much did they pay? Like $6 billion or something?
Yeah.
It was something ridiculous. I know that.
Yeah, they paid a ton. I mean, that's like for all the negatives that Vince McMahon brought with him. And I was not a fan of the way he booked, for example, like his 50-50 booking and all that kind of stuff. Like the way he'd stop and go guys, and I was not a fan of him. I was a fan of the character, but the way he booked stuff, all that, and especially all the vile stuff that he's been accused of, not just recently, there's stuff going back way back,
there's long,
and there's the ring boy scandal that he covered up and all that kind of stuff. So he's not, and I think I told you this, Abby. I listened to Justin Roberts' book in 2019, I want to say. Yeah. And that for me, that I just hearing the stuff going on backstage, the toxic environment, for me, that really put me off of WWE for a long time. And I actually haven't really gotten back into it until recently, until Vince McMahon was gone. And I think a lot of that was Vince McMahon, the negative, the culture he cultivated backstage was very toxic, I think. Yeah. But you also have to give the man credit for the fact that I think he catered to families, and TKO literally said this recently, that he was artificially keeping the prices down so families could afford to go to the shows. And that is, I think, something that you do need to praise him for, because what TKO is doing right now, I think they're burning the candle at both ends, where right now they're getting a lot of short-term gain, very, very big gates, breaking records, but at a certain point, people are gonna be like, I'm not gonna pay $250 for
the cheap sheets. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I believe there's this guy that has attended every single WrestleMania in the front.
The green shirt guy.
Yeah, I think so. And there's been rumors, been talk about it, and he must have a really well-paying job and all that kind of stuff. I think when you get into the territory where you're paying $40,000 for a second row ticket, I mean, I would imagine even that guy probably is going to tap out at something.
No, I think he's the guy who got punched. He's the guy who got punched out by CM Punk.
Well, I heard he does real estate too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was the most recent thing.
Okay.
Because they showed a video of remember the guy when CM Punk was in the crowd, and someone hit CM Punk in the back of the head, but they went underneath it was behind that guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
CM Punk turned around and punched that dude in the face.
Yeah, the wrong guy. That wasn't the green shirt guy, though. I don't think that was some bald guy with
no. They showed pictures of the green shirt guy and that guy, and they looked so similar.
Oh, okay.
So
And did he sue them or something?
know.
Did he get
I haven't read like any behind the scenes story. I mean, I'm sure it's all covered up, to be honest with you. But I'm assuming it's because of that. He's got the invites to sit ringside.
Oh, but I feel like he's been doing that for
That's
like
true, too.
way before that. No, wasn't he like
No,
like-
I don't remember seeing him before that.
Okay.
At least I
Yeah.
don't recall seeing him before any of that. I mean, I'm sure. Like, I think he started showing up with a green shirt like a couple of more than a couple of years ago. It's been like 4 or 5 years now. He had his own WrestleMania entrance.
Did he really?
He walked down the WrestleMania by through the ramp and everything.
That's awesome.
Even if you're paying for ringside tickets, he's got some type of hookup backstage, obviously.
But, I have to admit, I haven't even watched all the WrestleManias in recent years. Like I said, I was really out of WWE for a good while, and I got like in on the ground floor with AEW, and I watched that for like 4 years, I want to say, until the whole CM Punk thing, and then I was like, what is this? Like, these are a bunch of kids. Like, these are a bunch of
Very
how about
unprofessional,
WC? Yeah, how about WCW? They always said like the inmates run the asylum, and like it's kind of felt like it's just the same thing here, just with like, not so imposing inmates.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they're still, obviously in
everything
great
is
shape
saying
and all that
high,
kind of
high
stuff.
in real estate.
What'd you say?
Everything I've seen. I just googled it real fast too, just to make sure it's high end real estate is what they believe he's in.
Okay. Still though,
okay.
you want even if you are in high end real estate, you get like what 2-3% on a house you flip or sell, and like you're gonna have to sell a very expensive house to get 40 grand for WrestleMania tickets.
Exactly. Because that's way beyond.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's an $8 million house for those tickets that you.
Well, the other thing is now he's building up a social media presence because of.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's on Twitter, I think.
Maybe you should have him on.
I don't think he'll do our show, not ours.
Why not?
For sure.
You got Bill freaking McKenna on here. You can get anyone.
Well, I got Bill on just because I met him at SECC, right? So, and like I met Bill at Ringside Fest a long time ago, before, and I spoke to him there. And I was like, I've talked to you once before. You just probably don't remember me. I'm sure you talk to a lot of people though, because the amount of conventions you go to.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. But that was fun to have him on because talking about something that got me into collecting with the guy who's the one who's making them. Was awesome. Yeah, that was fun.
What kind of that's like that must be such a cool job to have, man. Like,
I mean, this hits it's funny because he mentioned the word budget a lot in that on that show. He was like, it depends on budget, and again, Mattel is no different than some of these bigger companies that go back to budget, right? Everything is based on budget.
Yeah, but the tooling, like I've learned a lot about the tooling. Like they're like $150,000 or something. So you have to imagine, like if you like tool a new body, for example, like a new upper body, like you have to get a lot of reuse out of that in order to justify the cost for the new tool, right? And people are always like, oh, but they're just repainting figures and they're using like this torso and like that torso, and like this torso doesn't really match that wrestler, and I get that. Like, for example, I don't know if you've seen like the Ultimate Bill Goldberg figure. I think I don't know, like his formula seems way off to me, but like it's,
I'm pretty sure those molds aren't finite either, though. Sometimes you have to redo the molds.
I think they're made out of steel though, so they should be pretty.
But there is mold degrade, so.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like you can, they can, and that's I don't know if you know, but like the Masters of the Universe Classics figures, you can actually find those on like AliExpress and stuff. Like, but they're like factory rejects or like molds that got like dumped or something. Apparently, supposedly, that's what I've heard at least. I'm not gonna state it as fact, but that's what I've heard. And like those figures are like really close in quality. Like might have a little looser joints or something, and like they might have like their the trimmings might be not cleaned up so clearly or whatever, but like they're essentially the same figures. Because there was like a bunch of those popping up like some years back.
That was always the rumor with the Takara KO masterpiece stuff. People were stories that they were factory rejects.
I could believe that sometimes.
Right.
I had some I had like a KO. What's a sideswipe? I had like a KO sideswipe.
Okay.
And I had the real one as well, and I couldn't really tell the difference other than the joints were looser, but like other than that, they were pretty much identical, I think. And I think that's also what Masterpiece impacted the price so much, because it's so difficult to tell, is this a real one or is it a fake? Like, you can't tell it until you have it in hand, and even then it's tough.
Yeah.
I've got the Masterpiece, the MP36 Megatron KO, and you cannot, from what I've seen, comparison of the two, you can't tell the difference at all.
Yep.
So do you then also have like the real one and keep him in the box or something?
I just bought
Not me. I'm not paying for a regular one. I just bought my KO and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, how much is he going for now? The 36. They haven't reissued them, I guess.
$300 would be my guess, but it's probably hard to find a real one because there's so many KOs out there. I wouldn't trust anybody because not just trusting people, but at the same time, they might not know they bought a KO.
Yeah, exactly. I've had that recently with like selling stuff where I'm like, they ask me, "This is real, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." Sometimes you just don't know. And I have some, like, for example, I have some Black Series figures that I bought like in 2015, whenever the line started, I think, and that's the only reason. Oh no, wait, actually, not Black Series, NECA. Like, they did a bunch of Terminator NECA KOs in China, and the only reason I know my figures are real is because they were bought before those Chinese figures flooded the market. But now you have those out there, and it completely devalued all of those. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, where's the Chinese Predator figures? I want Dutch. Like, you can't find Dutch anymore, man. Like, you pay like €100 for him, but you can't find
I
him.
can't believe NECA hasn't redone those figures yet,
man. Like, where's the Colonial Marines? Where are they?
Yeah, right.
NECA, come on, do it.
Well, have you seen that show Killer of Killers, where they added an extra scene at the end where they showed Dutch and Danny Glover's character?
I haven't. No. Oh, I haven't seen the movie yet.
No.
It was that animated series that was on Hulu.
Okay. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Originally had an ending where they showed a bunch of the people that killed predators. Well, and then like 2 weeks later, they extended it and it showed Dutch and Danny Glover's character in those frozen stasis pods.
Cool.
So I don't know if like the next season they'll bring them back, but if they're going to do that, then that's perfect opportunity for NECA to bring Dutch back.
But are they going to do Arnold though? Or
he kind of looks like Arnold.
But they have like they brought like they did do like a 2-pack with like a comic book version of Dutch. But then it wasn't like the Arnold likeness. So I was like on the fence on that one. I was like, that's pretty cool. But...
It's like that. You remember the arcade Predator versus Alien game where you had a guy that looked like Dutch, but I don't think he was Dutch.
No, I wasted all my coins on the Terminator one.
Okay.
Man, I mean, I put so many coins in that machine. I saw one recently on like Facebook Marketplace. Somebody was selling it for like €2,500. I was like, oh.
Was it the one with the gun?
Yeah.
That one? Yeah.
They actually, there's like a cabinets company that makes those, right? But like, I have so much nostalgia for the original cabinet. I'm like, I want that. But
yeah, was it Arcade 1-Up did a cabinet?
Yeah,
we got
exactly.
a couple of their cabinets. They take up a lot of room.
They're cool, but it's so hard to justify. But those are affordable, like $500-600.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money, but like that's affordable. But like $2-3 grand for an original cabinet, that's like, I mean, look, those things were really expensive. Like back when the arcades had to buy them, they cost like an arm and a leg. So I don't think you're actually paying that much more than what they actually paid for them back in the day. But like, yeah, it's a lot of money.
Well, I mean, you had an arcade and you were making money off of them.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. They earned themselves back then some, but it's still a big investment on. I was thinking, because we were talking about like there should be like a a version of Big Bad Toy Story in Europe. Like mainland Europe should have like a version of Big Bad Toy Story. It's like I'm thinking, I wonder how much of an investment, of a capital investment, it would cost if you wanted to do that. Like, I think you're talking like half to $1 million off the gate, like just in stock. You know, like
I mean, you would have to. I mean, not just stock, but you're talking about warehouse,
yeah,
distribution centers,
distribution. Exactly. Yeah, it's like
it's a big investment. Just to
I think there's a market for it in Europe, but there just needs to be somebody with the capital to say, okay, I'm going to do this. You know.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I definitely wouldn't base it in Belgium because our shipping rates are, man. If I want to ship a package to like anywhere other than the Netherlands or something, like it's ridiculous. Unless you have like these, these things like UPS Access Point and stuff, which is relatively cheap. But if you want to ship like a package to like somebody's house, like it's ridiculous, man. Like Italy is like €25. I can get a package sent from the US for $25, and it has to cross the freaking ocean, you know. But since we were talking about Masters of the Universe, I had the Super 7 Snake Mountain. I think I told you about this, Abby, right?
I think you did mention it.
I sold it on eBay for $16.50, and I listed the shipping at $150. So I sold it for $1,500 and then $150 for the shipping. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't find a shipper to ship it because the package was too big. So like the Belgian Post wouldn't ship it. I went to their post office to ship it, and they're like, "Oh, it's just too big. It's like a couple of centimeters too big. Like it was really, really slim." And if it would have been €130 to ship it with them, if it wasn't like based on the weight, but I couldn't, so I had to go with FedEx, and I got a really good quote from FedEx, which was like $109. So I was like, "Oh, nice." So I got a $150. I'm gonna do $109. So I'm actually pocketing like €41 still on this. So okay, that's cool. So I ship it with FedEx. I get the bill, and these bastards charged me €408 because the package wasn't stackable. It's a big box, like, and
€408. Holy shit!
Oh yeah. So I was like, oh my god. Wow. So I have the Castle Grayskull. I still have it, and I was like, I was thinking maybe I should sell it because it's worth a lot. Like I bought it for like $400. I think it's worth like $1,000+ now, even though it's opened. But I'm like, I'm not doing that, man. Like I'm not shipping that. That.
No.
Like,
that's
plus it's so cool. Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys have it. I don't know if any of you collect like Masters of the Universe.
Not anymore. Yeah.
I mean, that is such a cool piece, man. Like that Masters of the Universe Classics Castle Grayskull. It's so cool. And that's why I put on this dog cone, man, because if I see like the things that these companies are doing, like this Jabba's sail barge, and they did like the Tatooine, the Mos Eisley Cantina, I think. And
the cantina.
I don't want to. Don't show it. Don't show it to me because I told you this as well. I'll be like, I saw the WCW Nitro stage they did, like they were trying to do, and I mean. I only just got into the collecting scene like a year ago or something again, or less even, maybe like 6 months, just over 6 months maybe. So I wasn't collecting for the longest time. Like I said, we were building a house, and I was buying some stuff, but I was really cutting back. But I've the brakes are off now again. And I saw the stage. I'm like, oh my god, I need to have that. Like
it didn't fund though, man. It didn't fund.
I'm like, how? It wasn't even that expensive. It's like, I mean,
I think it was just because
$400.
The other wrestlers that were giving you with it weren't that great options.
I mean, but it's. I think it was $400, which is it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but the stage looked amazing. I think you got a DDP, you got a Rey Mysterio, you got a Hulk Hogan, and
and Scott Steiner.
And a Scott Steiner. So you get 4 figures at $35 each. Like that alone is like what? What is that? That's
I know, but the thing is, they released the other stage, the retro WWE stage that had like the old school colorful entrance that they had, and they had a ring. They had a Macho Man. You know, they had like a Donk the Clown and a Diesel.
Yeah, that was $250. That was $250.
Yeah, that was a lot cheaper too.
That was cheaper, but also like that stage is really simplistic, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah, it is simplistic, but at the same time, though, like you got a lot more for your bang on that. I feel like on that.
I don't know, man. Like
that would be in the ring itself.
Yeah, the wooden planks on the it was like an official little size ring. So
yeah, you did get an ultimate scale ring, and then you got like the entrance. But like the entrance was like it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but like it's nowhere near the Nitro. Like the Nitro stage is so iconic. I think like the Raw is War stage of that era is so iconic as well, which they also showed off. I think at one of the cons, and I'm like just like okay, they didn't fund the Nitro stage, but like in my head it's like, but there's more WWF fans, especially like now because they won the war anyway, and you know, so like surely that would get funded is my logic, and I'm just every time there's like a convention, I'm like trying to did they say anything about the Raw stage? But I did pick up on what they said was like. I think something that Steve Ozer said, which is also one of the guys at Mattel, which I suspect he might have Turkish roots, by the way, because that last name is Turkish. But yeah, I'm really curious about that actually, because he doesn't look Turkish. But so he said something along the lines of with like the crowdfunding stuff, they're kind of holding off because of the global markets, and I guess that's all about the tariffs and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
that makes sense. But that's not only that. But there's another big question mark that comes into play here: the amount of elite scale rings that they're releasing.
Yeah,
it's like how many do you need? Like how many? Like, space is a big problem. Right? An elite scale ring is 2 feet long, 2 feet by 2 feet.
So the other thing Mattel's really bad at is timing. They always do it when there's like multiple crowdfunding things going on.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, but also like I mean for the Nitro stage, they only needed, I believe, 5,000 backers or something, and they didn't get that. And I think, when I went in on Snake Mountain, I think they had something along those lines as well, and that got funded. And that was really expensive. I think I paid €800 for that, and I think it was. I think in the US it was $600. So
didn't the first ring almost not fund, and then they had to add like other stuff towards the end, and other payment options like
I don't know,
did Klarna or something like that. At least here in the States.
Okay, yeah, Klarna. We have that as well. You can, but that makes sense. I think you should have payments like that, especially when it comes to like really big numbers like that. When you're talking a Jabba sail barge, which costs I don't know how many hundreds of euros, but it's like I mean, was it you, Lou, or was it you that was saying about the masterpiece collectors that at least the masterpiece, they don't throw as much stuff as like the G.I. Joe stuff at your head. But the thing with a masterpiece is like you're paying like the MP, what is it, MP44, the new Optimus Prime? How much? That was $500 or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not throwing 10 figures per quarter at you, but like $500.
Yeah.
Like how many G.I. Joe classifieds can you buy for $500?
A couple. Well, it was crazy when the MP44 came out. So TFCon was right before that, and then the MP44 dropped, and then the HasLab got shown off at SDCC. So then Hasbro wanted you to pay another $500 for that.
Yeah, well, for Unicron, was that Unicron?
Yeah, that was all in the same year. That was like all the same 3-month time period.
That's too much. That's just
and that's why the Unicron didn't fund or did fund.
Didn't it?
They had to extend it. Well,
they extended
there was some circumstances
by the skin of its teeth after an extension.
Yeah, because they had to extend it a month.
Yeah,
I think they were too deep in the development of it. They had to pass it.
But then how much do Hasbro coordinate with Takara, because they're separate entities, right?
They were supposed to be in line, like when War for Cybertron came around. Everything was all in line. Now Takara seems to kind of be branching off, doing more of their own thing again. But they still work together in development.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like that's just. I mean, I can't complain about the money I get in, and I have a lot. I think I have like a decent amount of disposable income, but like, I can't do 4 crowdfunders in a year. Like one is enough for me. Like if like a Nitro ring, that like that's where you kind of have to pick and choose. Like you can't do like, okay, I want to do Star Wars, I want to do Transformers, I want to do wrestling, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. If you're buying like crowdfunding things from 5, 6, 7, sometimes more than that, hundreds of dollars, plus like for us Euros, like I said, like the Snake Mountain was $600 in the US. I paid over 800 euros for that. That's like that's like $900. That's $300 more.
You don't need to eat. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, can just buy a really big bag of rice that'll last me for 6 months.
Exactly.
I do one crowdfunding a year, and it's the Joe HasLab. Thankfully, since I collect Transformers Master stuff, I don't need the Transformers HasLab.
Yeah, and Hasbro had the car for Ghost Rider car that didn't get funded, right? Because
there's a lot of things that didn't get funded that wasn't Hasbro owned properties.
Because that was the Ghost Rider car was $250, I think, and it was cool, but it's like it's a car, and that's like for me, it's like the Nitro stage. That's massive. Jabba's sail barge, that's massive. Like you can like the Snake Mountain was massive. Like I think you can justify that to an extent, but like $250 for a car, like I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I agree. I mean,
for a Marvel Legends car, it's not Hot Toys,
Yep.
Yeah.
But then like Hot Toys did their Tumbler. Like how expensive was that thing? I think it was $600 or more.
Yep.
But that was also a lot of plastic.
I mean, yeah.
I do have to cut off the interview just because I have to leave. It's already 2 hours and 50 minutes. We're almost an hour over our time limit. But again, Kaan, I appreciate you jumping on and talking toys and even talking about the European, the European collector scene. That's actually it's very interesting to be honest. But again, I appreciate you jumping on. Anything you want to shout out?
No, like I said, my podcast is football and soccer related. I highly doubt there's Besiktas fans watching your show. There might be. So if you are, go check out the Black Eagles podcast. But other than that, no, I don't have any presence in the toy collecting world other than my own obsession with toys. So thank you for having me on, guys. It was a pleasure talking to all of you.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Even though I didn't allow you to talk too much because I'm such a rambler.
No, it's the show's about you, right? We wanted to focus on you. So
that's right.
Talib, how about you?
Oh, me, huh? Well, you can follow me at Talib1980 Collects. There's an underscore in there too. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch.
Do you do dances on TikTok or what?
No, I just post news and photos on TikTok.
Nudes?
But
photos?
yeah, it's usually Transformers news. Check
Nude
out my
photos.
News.
I throw a lot of first-party
Nude.
Transformers stuff, just Transformers in general.
Well, look at those
On
pistons.
YouTube, I do 2 reviews a week. Transformers on Tuesday, action figures on Friday. I go live on Sunday. Typically, it's been building blockies. And then
do you have them like do you have like the building process like sped up? Like I've watched some of those videos and they're so satisfying where you're like
no, I do them live.
Click them together.
Actually.
Okay,
He does them live, yeah.
So I have a second camera set up, and you'll just see my hands and me building them.
cool.
But
Alright.
and then on Mondays, I'm on Figure Fight Club for Decepticast. That's all Transformers show where Abby is in the background pushing buttons and falling asleep.
Yep.
That's at 10:15 every Monday, 10:15 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
And then following that show on my channel, I do a news and review. So all the news shit that I post during the week, I compile it and do like a short form like live. Actually, it's long form, not short form.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not short.
And then Tuesday, I'm on Figure Fight Club for open mic night when I'm not working late. And Friday, like tonight, I am on Figure Fight Club. And pushing to that 1,000 subscribers as of right now. So this is a recording. I'm 7 away. So hopefully by the time this airs, I'll be over 1,000 subscribers.
You said you were at the beginning. Weren't you like 16 away like last night?
Last night, yeah, I got a few more from this morning.
You're gonna hit. By tomorrow, you're gonna hit 1,000. but
most likely
when Decepticast goes live tomorrow night,
it'll
it's gonna hit 1,000.
Might have to get a shot from work and take shots.
By the way, I love your neon backgrounds. Like,
oh, thanks. Yeah, it was like
really
$15 rope light from Walmart, real cheap.
It's really cool. I'll go check it. I'll go drive a couple of 100 kilometers, see if they have it at Smith's.
Maybe.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Lou, how about you?
Well, if my connection is working enough and you can actually hear me, that'd be awesome. Not my fault. It's all on me. Working on that. We'll get that corrected.
Are you in space station or something? Or in ISS or?
Yes. Yes. I'm on Mars currently.
I love the delay. I'm in Belgium. I'm like across the Atlantic Ocean, and I'm coming in quicker than you are.
Better than mine. Yeah, we're working on that. So anyway, you can find me on Instagram, LucidaBase3. I do photography, take pictures of toys, that kind of thing. That's about it. You can find me here on Figure Fight Club Tuesday nights, Friday nights, whenever, all the time, more than you expect. That's it. That's what I got. How delayed was that?
That was perfect. Thanks, Lou. And then I didn't even have to shout out the other shows just because Talib and Lou took care of it. But so this is a pre-recorded video. It's airing on the 10th. This Friday, I should say. I'll be at New York Comic Con, so that Tuesday at Open Mic Night, you guys will see a lot of my convention pickups. So I'm looking forward for that. Then next Friday, I didn't have time to make a video, but we have a new VIP. What is it? High School Creations will be on with us next Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to talk to a customizer, someone who world builds at 1/12 scale. So I'm excited to talk to him. But again, Kaan, thank you very much for jumping on. Thank you guys, Talib and Lou. Thank you to the chat, the replay squad. Again, we'll be back live the following Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So we'll see you. Peace out.
And don't forget,
acknowledge me.
Bye.
As we wrap up tonight's fun, the figures in talk, so we've just begun. Join us next time for thrills anew. In the world of Figure Fight Club, it's all for you. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. See you next week on Figure Fight Club, stay strutting. This isn't goodbye, it's just to see you later. In the meantime, go check out another creator. So keep your figures on display until we gather here someday. Remember the tales and the laughs we shared. Here at Figure Fight Club, you're treasured and cared.